The men and women at our crew just thrilled to be back at Lane Stadium. And glad you're alongside. Welcome back to this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Lane Stadium, place unlike any other on a college football Saturday night, lit up with cell phones, striped in the school colors, and they're about to jump up and down and go ballistic. Virginia Tech, the locker room's a short walk from Lane Stadium. They march in 3 or 4 wide into a narrow, sloping tunnel, freshly painted for tonight, by the way. They'll make a left turn. On the wall, the names of all the seniors who have graduated since '87. At the bottom, they'll be asked to reach higher for all those who have passed before and those to come. And then they will touch the Hokie Stone. It's the same limestone used to build this campus. Even the Tech veterans who've done this dozens of times, they tell us they still get goosebumps. And at the bottom of the tunnel, the song that Metallica recorded long before these players were born, Enter Sandman, has played the Hokies on each home game since 2000. And on nights like this, the earth will shake, literally. We have a seismograph to prove it. But despite the fuel of all this energy, the Hokies have yet to really take down a big-time opponent in this place in recent years. A daunting challenge for any visitor. Now, there's nothing like it. It is the rockettest entrance in college football. See the seniors' names right there. And there's going to be a surprise for the crowd tonight. It's going to be a special message from Metallica and their tour stop in Austin, Texas tonight. Buckle up. About to hear Enter Sandman, but first the message from Metallica.
Virginia Tech, Metallica is in your house.
That's right.
Hokie Nation, we're ready to go to work. Are you ready to go to work? That's right. You have supported Metallica for so long. We appreciate you. We're here to support you. Hokie Nation, start jumping.
Right.
And here come the Irish into this cauldron of chaos. Oh, Kirk, they prepared for this. They braced for this. They wanted to prove there would be no repeat of the meltdown in Miami. It's going to be tested right here.
I just love this. I love the build-up, the hype of this every time. But the fact that Notre Dame's built 11 months of trying to get ready for this atmosphere. About to find out if they're about to pass this test.
The coin toss with Stuart Mullins and this ACC crew. It will take more than a guitar riff and all this energy to get the job done tonight, though. I don't know if the noise broke Stewart's mic or not. Ricky Walker bringing that lunch pail out. He's been the keeper of it all season long. Oh, coin toss right off Jerry Tillery's chest. Hokies won the toss. They will defer. Notre Dame and Ian Book will get the football first and begin the job of dealing with all this chaos. Maria Taylor's with Brian Kelly.
Thanks, Chris. All right, Coach, you've been preparing your team for chaos in environments like this. What will it take to maintain poise in this game?
Well, they've got to get in the right zone, which I think they understand the mental game of it. But again, it comes down to they've got to have a great attention to detail, stay focused, and again, it's one play at a time. You know, and there's going to be some good plays made by Virginia Tech. Just stay in the moment, one play at a time.
All right, what will it take for Ian Book to make good plays one play at a time here tonight?
Well, we got to support him. You got to protect him first. So obviously do a good job there, and then support him. We're going to have to make some plays down the field, and he's really good at distributing the football.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And protecting Book, an offensive line that will not have Alex Bars, the senior left guard, out for the year with a knee injury. He was their best overall offensive player. So they'll use Trevor Rule in the backup center stepping in at guard, but it's an unfortunate injury. The timing not good for Notre Dame.
Especially the timing, because with Alex Bars in there at left guard, they're a very physical offensive line. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Trevor Rowland throughout this game to see if Notre Dame can establish that run game, which is so important on the road.
And there is Ryan Willis. It's a long way from Lawrence, Kansas, and the sleepy environments there. Jordan Stout to boot it away. Hokies have had excellent kickoff coverage throughout the season. Michael Young is deep for the Irish at the goal line. Enjoy this one from Lane Stadium tonight. And Stout drives it almost into the crowd. It's a pumped up kicker. So here comes Ian Book, Kirk. It's his fourth career start, third this year.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him play these last couple of weeks. The sophomore, we talked about it in the open. He's kind of making the layups, the easy throws. He needs to do that tonight. Continue to be decisive and accurate. Such an important part of what we've seen from him. And then using his feet to improvise against Bud Foster's defense that more than likely in this atmosphere with this crowd, they're going to turn up some pressure and come after him. He's got to be able to keep some plays alive like he's done the last 2 weeks and make throws.
Dexter Williams suspended the first 4 games. Monster game on the win over Stanford is the bat. But Book looking to throw, fires across the middle, catch made, and immediately hit. Miles Boykin well covered. Mustipher is the leader. We talked about Rulin stepping in for Bars at left guard.
And the leader in the middle there, Mustipher, the center, who's played in a lot of big games. The bigger receivers, Claypool 83, Boykin 81, both have great size. Remember, Old Dominion with bigger receivers gave this Virginia Tech secondary fits a couple weeks ago.
Secondary that's shorthanded. Divine Diablo, their safety, out with a hamstring injury tonight. So you talked about how thin the Hokies were, and right away a false start.
Full start, number 84, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Cole commit the tight end. They're even thinner now with Diablo out.
Yeah, Diablo out, it's a big hit for that secondary that's so young, but right away we kind of see the impact of this crowd. Again, you can do whatever you want with crowd noise during the week in South Bend. It's a different deal when you come out here.
On 2nd and 14. Book's got it, pitches it across the middle, and the catch is made again by Boykin. It's a first down. But Foster had never had a less experienced defense coming into the season. The bell cow was number 8, Ricky Walker.
Yeah, Walker and Hewitt in the middle, very physical. Ashby, the leader, 23, the linebacker, and Reggie Floyd in the back end.
At 18 yards in that play. Now they pitch it out wide, and another attempt to get the ball to the perimeter quickly, and that's Chase Claypool. Good gain on first down.
There's no shortage of athletes in the Virginia Tech secondary. It's just lack of experience. I mean, you lost most of your secondary from a year ago. The linebackers, all these guys are new, so it's not necessarily about ability. It's just where are their eyes? Are they playing with great discipline? That's the big thing that they have to do tonight.
Play action again. Book shows his elusiveness, but he cannot escape the grasp of Jarrett Hewitt. There's a flag down. Did he grab the mask?
I think he did. I think he was in great position there getting off of Rulin's block, but I think his right hand got up into the face of Book.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 55. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Environment can be a challenge for the defense as well. They can get too hyped up, make mistakes like this.
Yeah, and there he gets to bottom of the face mask, helps pull down Book. By the way, if he doesn't do that, you're looking at a 3rd and long, and Virginia Tech having a chance to get off the field. Instead, the 15-yard penalty, they're across midfield, and Notre Dame has a nice drive going.
Ball at the Tech 42. First carry for Williams, who exploded against the Cardinals. He came off with fresh legs after being forced to sit out the first 4 games with the university suspension.
Gotta love with Brian Kelly and Chip Long, the offensive coordinator. They come into this hostile environment. First 3 plays with a fairly inexperienced quarterback. They put the ball in his hands. 3 straight passes until the run there by Dexter Williams.
Jafar Armstrong is still out injured for a couple more games. Tony Jones has been hampered with an ankle injury. Williams may be the workhorse tonight. He's got it again, trying to get the edge. Cannot escape the clutches of Rayshard Ashby, the middle linebacker.
Bud Foster last week went a little bit unorthodox for him. He rushed 3, dropped 8 a lot of the times, and they got pressure on Daniel Jones of 2. Here early in this game, boy, he is crowding the line of scrimmage with a lot of bodies, and he's leaving his young corners one-on-one on the perimeter against those tall receivers. That could be dangerous.
First 3rd down of the night. They need 6. Hokies rush 4. Book has time and delivers a strike, and it's a first down. And that's the tight end, Alize Mack, down to the 22.
Well, they flooded the zone and did a good job of just finding. Mack does a good job of settling into the soft spot. He's got 3 receivers in one area, 2 defenders. He's just making a quick read and staying in rhythm, which again is so important for him tonight.
That's 16 in that 3rd down play. Book again from the pocket, again using the cushion. This is Claypool who makes the catch. Another first down. Caleb Farley drove him out.
Boy, they are moving the ball around. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 different receivers already with catches. You've got backs involved. I mean, this is such a different feel of a Notre Dame offense. The urgency and the rhythm to it is very, very unique. Haven't seen it in a long time from Notre Dame.
Involves all the playmakers, really has energized things, and now Book looking for the end zone, flips it short. Claypool is hit hard at the 5-yard line. Knocked down there by Dylan Rivers.
And when you attack the way they're attacking, what it does is it takes this defense that was coming out because of the crowd, it gets them on their heels, and now the pass rush isn't as intense, and it allows receivers like Claypool to get underneath. No pass rush at all. 5 receivers out, and eventually he finds his man.
2nd and 4. Book 6 for 6 on this opening drive. Fires near side, catch made. Mack knocked down. That's an excellent defensive play by Tyree Rogers. One of those DBs asked to step up tonight.
He stepped up, all right. That's a big play out in space. Again, love how Ian Book just gets that ball out quickly to the very athletic tight end Mack. And Mack doesn't even have a chance to turn the corner because of the quickness there by Rogers.
3rd and 1. Williams should have first down yardage. Spot.
That'd
be close as the nose of the ball at the 1.
Chris, they might take a look at this spot. I thought his knee may have hit behind from where he eventually ended up landing and kind of bouncing forward. I think he looks like he's about a half a yard short if you look where his knee initially hits. Right
down,
there.
Yeah, down there.
Then he bounces, kind of moves forward.
Steve McBride, the replay official for this ACC crew. He may have spotted the ball back a little bit from the initial placement. And they're going to bring the chains out.
I still think there's a chance that ball could be moved back a little bit.
Well, if it is 4th down, does Kelly go for it down here?
The way they have been in attack mode, I think you have to.
Yep.
And it goes back to the 11 months of training for this kind of environment. You're not going to kick a field goal. You got to go for it.
I hear you. He agrees with you. 3 big old tight ends in the football game now for the Irish on this 4th down play. Can they quiet this crowd? Or can the Hokies stir things up even more with a big stand? Brock Wright, the tight end, is lined up at fullback in front of Williams.
Remember, Book has great feet for a bootleg or a naked. Or a sneak.
And he looks like he's got it with the sneak. First and goal, Notre Dame. Not a big guy, 6 foot tall, about 200 pounds. But he kind of wormed his way. He found a little gap in there.
Yeah, you get a little push also from Brock Wright, helping, trying to push him from behind. See that all the time in college football.
There's a sandwich in the corner.
Oh, yeah. And I love Ian Book. I love watching this kid play. Just a gym rat approach, studies film relentlessly to be prepared, and just playing with it with a swagger, a confidence about himself. And I think the team feeds off it.
They shift all those big bodies to the right. Williams muscles in, and Notre Dame marches it 74 yards in 11 plays to quiet Lane a bit.
If you're a Notre Dame fan, it's exactly what you wanted to see. 12 plays, 75 yards, a little over 5.5 minutes, and a touchdown. And Ian Book, the mojo continues. 7 of 7 on that initial drive for the Fighting Irish.
Book is the holder for Justin Yoon's PAT attempt. Notre Dame 94 points in the last 2 games. The first 3 games, all at home, they didn't exceed 24 points. Brandon Wimbush was the quarterback then. 13-3 as a starter, but you can see why Kelly made the move. Irish muscle in front. First possession for Ryan Willis and the Hokies coming up.
Hi, at Dave Arbogast, we know you want a quality vehicle at a great price. We compare current offers from every competitor's website in the area, so you get the best possible deal. Browse nearly every make and model, all with hassle-free pricing. Dave Arbogast, I-75 to X69 in Troy.
When your car is acting funny, making sounds you never heard, like a screaming wounded banshee or some wild and woolly bird. Next time you buy a car, heed my word.
Visit Voss Chevrolet in Centerville today and see why they're the largest Chevy dealer in the Miami Valley with the largest selection of vehicles all in one location. Plus, with the Voss discount, you will save even more.
Get a Voss.
Voss Chevrolet, built on trust, driven by integrity.
It's expensive to be made. Looking this good, don't come for free. Bentleys and Benzes through cash-colored lenses, and tires and senses to ching. It's expensive to be made. It's expensive to be made.
Actually, our shoes aren't expensive. Get your first pair for just $10. Only at shoedazzle.com.
It's expensive to be me.
Some think that cute can't be powerful. That a pink outfit can't actually be built for a fight. That a floral legging can't also be functional.
And breathe, settle into warrior 2, reach forward, and...
That a cute outfit isn't up for a challenge. bit of form-fitting top. Can't handle breaking a serious sweat.
And left leg back.
Because if it looks cute, it must lack performance.
Take a deep breath.
And if I look cute,
Up.
I must be less competition. Cute can be deceiving. Maybe I like it that way. Right now, get your first 2 pairs of leggings for just $24. Only at Fabletics.com.
Anybody that tells you that they don't want a full head of hair is lying.
It was like really thinning out on the top. I was like, here we go.
Once Hims came along, I realized that doesn't have to happen to me.
It's an easy, fast, and inexpensive way to keep hair.
It was really comforting to have a doctor make me feel really confident that this is a product I should be using.
What you get from Hims is definitely worth the price.
I'm no longer going bald, yay!
Irish a long touchdown march in their first possession. 7-0 lead. Welcome back to your Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. Notre Dame's first ever visit to Lane Stadium. All the pandemonium of Enter Sandman, the energy handled beautifully by Ian Book. 7 for 7, 58 yards. Had that quarterback sneak on 4th down. And Williams finished the job. Terrius Wheatley, son of Tyrone, has a chance to receive the kick from Jonathan Dorr at the 9. And Wheatley will be stacked up just across the 20. So here's the strong arm junior from Kansas, Ryan Willis.
6'4", 223 pounds, and he does have the experience from the 10 starts at Kansas. And you know, to me, you got to adjust to the speed and the complexity of this Notre Dame defense, kind of settle into the game. Also, I think he's got an ability to make throws downfield, and he's got to be able to exploit when he gets the matchups that he wants. He's got to be able to find them, recognize them, and then make the throws. He's got some very talented receivers.
Really shared his story of coming back from all the despair of all those losses and all that punishment he took at Kansas and landing here. Stephen Peoples is the back. Willis rolls that way, is pressured and now takes a downfield shot and shot it over the head of Sean Savoy. A little early adrenaline from the quarterback. Jalen Elliott, Virginia native, was in coverage.
Let's keep an eye on the left tackle. True freshman against these talented pass rushers. Darrisaw, 77, and they're the receivers. And you see the running back McLeese. You'll see Peoples in there as well. Hazelton, Grimsley, Kuma, Keene. These guys can make plays.
Hazelton, a close buddy of Willis. They each sat out last year as transfers. He's had back-to-back 100-yard receiving games, number 14. Savoy in motion, cuts it back, and on the end around, they pick up about 4. Boy, this Irish defense has been just outstanding. We've talked about Jerry Tillery, 7 sacks, co-leader in the nation. Coney and Tranquil, outstanding linebacker.
Great tandem at linebacker. Okwara, another guy 42 to watch, especially in these situations on 3rd down. Julian Love, the best cover man for this team, one of the best cover corners in all of college football. And we already saw Jalen Elliott's come a long way from last year, playing with a lot more confidence.
Empty backfield. Hokies need 6. Here comes the rush. Willis gets it out. It's complete, but not a first down as Tavon Coney just smacked Stephen Peoples right there, and the Hokies go 3 and out.
He has worked so hard on his coverage skills. And you know, when you can rush the quarterback as quickly as Notre Dame can, you've got to get the ball out in a hurry, and that's exactly what they decide to do. They get it out in a hurry, and look at Coney, who's known as a guy who's physical. He's up to 240. Very instinctive as a stopping the run, but that time out in coverage.
The lefty from Australia, Kirk. Oscar Bramber punts it deep. Chris Fick makes a fair catch. I'm happy we have an Aussie punter in the game.
Life is good.
Can Bud Foster make some adjustments? Book and the Irish offense back to work, up 7.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Wells Fargo. Established 1852, re-established 2018. And in part by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Some of the Hokie greats who have made plays in this beautiful campus nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. High above the Goodyear blimp, providing our aerial coverage. When you put in the hours, the reps, and the heart, nothing can keep you from being blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven. The drive by Notre Dame, so impressive. And Book takes over after the 3 and out by Virginia Tech. 7 for 7 so far. All high percentage type throws. Fake to Williams, and Book steps up. It's a downfield shot, and Fink is running free. Chris Fink makes a cut and is knocked down in the red zone. Book can do no wrong so far.
He's feeling it. You know, his first start, they threw the ball on 1st and 10 16 times, and he hit 12 of them. The reason that's important, you get favorable matchups. You get a very quick receiver in Fink up against a safety that's a mismatch because they're anticipating the tendency to be run. They're overcommitted to the line of scrimmage. You get the matchup, time to throw, and Book has the accuracy.
56 yards for the senior from Dayton, and now the first incompletion and miscommunication on the far side.
What's going on here? I mean, incompletion. That's not
Here's Chick-fil-A impact players tonight, Kurt.
Yeah, let's start with Dexter Williams in the backfield. Great to see him back last week. Explosive runner. Miles Boykin, they'll look for him, especially in this area. Ricky Walker's got to make some plays in the inside, and Caleb Farley better hold up one-on-one the rest of those corners for the Hokie secondary.
Williams, who raced 45 yards for a touchdown on the first touch of the season against Stanford. Then was just the overall workhorse in that game. In it for 161.
Missed those first 4 games, suspended, and kind of went down to the scout team during camp in the first 2 weeks. Had to earn his way back. Did just that very thing and had that big game last week. First game back.
3rd and 7. Book fires over the head of Boykin. Incomplete. He's knocked down after the throw, and Tech's defense does hold after the big play.
As the ball was snapped, you could see that's the matchup he wants. Boykin, that's got that size, and look where he throws the ball. That's intentionally done. He missed it, but he missed it high. He'll go back to that with Boykin at 6'4", and he'll try to make that throw again against Quillen, and I promise you he'll make it.
Justin Yoon is closing into the all-time Notre Dame scoring record, which Alan Pinkett set 33 years ago. Tries to get 3 points closer to the mark from 31 yards. And he drives it through. The senior gives Notre Dame a double-digit lead midway first quarter here at Lane Stadium.
I don't think I could start my first one in Lane in a bigger game. You know, I'm excited. I don't really know what to expect coming out of the tunnel. Well, I did come out of the tunnel for a William & Mary, but that was a day game, not a primetime 8 o'clock start against number 6 team in the country. But, you know, I'm just excited to see how Hokie Nation shows up and ready to get the game going.
Yeah, he was just vibrating with excitement when we talked to him yesterday. He was just sacked so often, beaten up, thrown into the lineup as a true freshman, Kansas. And took his lumps and came out the other night. He was recruited by 2 guys with Notre Dame connections, Charlie Weiss and Ron Powless, but they got fired. And then David Beatty told him, "You're not exactly what I'm looking for as a quarterback," but he didn't take the hit. He's still enrolled there.
What are they looking for at Kansas, a quarterback?
Apparently not a strong arm.
Okay.
But anyway,
sorry about that.
He decided to walk on here, just like his parents, Lois and Steve. They each walked on as college athletes and had excellent success. He was a kicker at Kansas State. Lois, an excellent track and field athlete at Iowa State. His sister Lauren also walked on at Oklahoma, went to a couple of Final Fours. And there's a long throw. You can see the arm strength. And that's the guy he has a special connection with, Damon Hazelton.
Yeah, Hazelton, as you mentioned, he and Willis sitting out, getting a chance to work together on the scout team. And there's a rhythm and a confidence there. When you throw it with a certain receiver, a lot of times, you just have an ability to get into rhythm. That's the guy you want to look early in this game to.
Looks on the other side, finds him again. Yeah, these 2 guys, when you're sitting out as transfers, you got to sit in the stands and watch the games after practicing all week. It's kind of a bummer, but they got through it. Maria?
Yeah, they came in as transfers together, Chris, and that means they played on the scout team. And Willis said that he threw to Hazelton literally every single play, and that's when they had guys like Terrell Edmonds and Greg Stroman playing in the DBs, and Adonis Hasler, or Alexander was playing linebacker at that time.
There's a play action on a dart thrown high and incomplete, looking for Kuma, who was brought down. Crowd wanted a flag on Troy Pride Jr. Hazelton, by the way, has caught a touchdown in all 4 of his games here at Tech. Former Ball Stater.
He is running an offense like we see pretty much every game you turn on, with a lot of RPOs, meaning run pass options, and trying to read that second level defender, whether he's in defending the run or sitting out in the box.
You need 2 on 3rd down. And Willis flips it in the flat to Peoples, and Stephen Peoples makes a man miss and gets a first down in Notre Dame territory.
He did a nice job getting the ball out quickly and giving Peoples a chance to be able to try to make a move, because you know Coney, see how Coney gets out there, avoids the traffic, is able to get out there, but a great job of cutting back inside. The effort there by Coney to try to get to the outside, he recognized that, cut it back, and picked up the yards.
Now Peoples on the reverse. Hezekiah Grimsley looking to throw. Loves it downfield and has a man wide open, and Sean Savoy scores on this special play. There is a flag near midfield. The cannon operators or the firework operators don't know it. It'll come back.
Number 77, offense.
And there's the freshman.
5-yard penalty. First down.
For Justin Fuente, the right time to dial it up. Waited, gets Notre Dame's defense out of position, and the true freshman, Darisaw, is downfield to eliminate the touchdown. If you look at the left tackle right here, you can see they're trying to sell it, and actually, really, Grimsley sells the heck out of it. But right here is Darisaw, the left tackle. He's getting downfield about 6-7 yards downfield, and the official makes the right call. And Virginia Tech wastes their big opportunity to get back into this game and get this crowd back into this game.
They practiced that play a lot on Thursday. Kirk Savoy's not a great passer, but the receiver Savoy was just so wide open.
I loved how Grimsley sold that.
Yeah.
He just basically baited the defense to him, and then he just kind of hook shot the throw out there because there's no defenders out there.
It shows you just how collaborative this sport is. A true freshman tackle, 30 yards away from the play. Just that brief mental error, few 2 yards downfield. So it's 1st and 15. And they've used up their special play for the week. McLeese takes the football, follows his blockers nicely, and is knocked down after about a 9-yard gain.
And follows the center Hoyt around, and they'll use McLeese and Peoples mainly in that backfield. I think they complement each other very well. McLeese is sudden and quick, 33. Peoples a little bit more physical. The senior, 225 pounds. McLeese will stay in the game.
Running game was smothered by Duke. Blue Devils crowded the line. Hokie backs couldn't get much going. There's a long throw to the edge, and Trey Turner, who's a very talented true freshman, makes his 4th catch of the season, and it's a first down.
I said this when we had him week 1 against Florida State. Justin Fuente is building this program up. Last year he had Cam Phillips and the true freshman Sean Savoy. Now he's got some depth out at wide receiver. This freshman's really helping out Turner.
Play action, they flip it to Grimsley, who makes a catch, and he is smacked very hard by Jalen Elliott, the safety who's got 26 friends and family here tonight. He comes from Richmond.
Yeah, also you see Julian Love, who I think is one of the better corners in the country. Right there, comes up and hits him and shows how physical he can be. These Notre Dame corners will hit you. It's not just about covering with them. They're asked to make plays in the open field, and they do that. I love to watch 27.
Yeah, he's the all-time pass broken up guy at Notre Dame. On 2nd and 5, that's a keeper from the quarterback, and he shows his strength. They're spinning him around, but Willis fights near the first down.
By the way, he's pulling Okwara, a big defensive end, one of their more talented players. He's on the left side there. He just grabs on. I think he may be surprised by the size and power of Willis, who right now is showing that, again, he's got some athletic ability. Justin Fuente telling us he's not just a passer. The guy's got some quickness.
Power and also determination.
Yeah.
It means everything to him to be in a game like this after what he's been through. 3rd and 1, and you see the power of the quarterback who just sneaks it for a first down. You just wonder if a guy like that, Kirk, gets a little too hyped because he's waited so long for this chance.
And in fact, he's very different from Josh Jackson, who was flatlined. Very, very chill. He plays quarterback like a linebacker. So regardless of just this scene and playing the number 6 team in the country, he just plays the quarterback position with a much more amount of motion than what you typically see from a quarterback.
And there's a flag.
Yeah, the center moved.
Snap.
Center was about to snap it, moved, and
it's the second mental error on this offensive line in this series.
First down.
Zachariah Hoyt and Hoyt and Grimsley. They got two Old Testament guys here. You got Zachariah, Hezekiah. We need an Ezekiel out there.
No doubt. It's a good look.
It's a biblical hairstyle too. Sets the Hokies back 1st and 15. Terrius Wheatley is the back now, goes in motion. And another false start. Wow. That's supposed to be the road team that's undone by all this energy.
This time it's the right guard.
False start. Number 61. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's the veteran Kyle Chung who called his number.
You see 61 there lined up at right guard, who's in his 6th year. Talking about self-destructing. It's hard enough to move the ball against Notre Dame, let alone when you're having these penalties.
It's the most experienced unit on this team, the offensive line. 51 combined starts, but misfiring twice. So it's 1st and 20, and now Willis fires far side, gets about 5 yards of that back. It's a completion to Hazelton again, his 3rd catch. You know this offensive line group's going to be keyed up. The Irish, you see them on tape, they are disruptive. They are dynamic getting after the quarterback, invading the backfield. It's a serious challenge for any offensive line. 2nd and 14. Willis keeps it and pops it across the middle. He had Wheatley open and he just missed him.
Yeah, that's who he was, just trying to sneak him out of the backfield, trying to get the linebackers out of position, and had a chance. Bill Wall, 22, trying to come over there late, but if he leads him over the middle of the field, there's nobody there. Instead, just miscommunication. He kind of expected Wheatley to stay outside, but if he throws that, as I said, over more to the middle of the field, there's nobody left for the Notre Dame defense. Wheatley probably goes to the end zone.
They're in fringe field goal range. They need 14 on 3rd down. Hazelton's in the slot to the left. Willis is looking in that direction. Can't afford to take a sack here. And now he'll scramble and he'll power his way for a short gain inside the 25 before Coney stopped him. And here comes a field goal attempt.
And you better get that ball out in a hurry, as you said, Chris, against this Notre Dame defensive line on 3rd down, because they're going to turn loose some athletes, and he was able to pick up some yards there. But they had some big plays. They had the touchdown pulled back, but still just trying to settle for 3.
Ryan Johnson is a sophomore who takes over for the 4-year starter, Joey Sly, and this from 40 yards. And he drives it through. So Virginia Tech on the board. They drive it 53 yards in 13 plays and cut the Irish lead to 7. Final minute of the 1st quarter.
To you guys.
Cassidy thanks to the Bulldogs in front. Other top playoff contenders like Alabama and Clemson really rolled today. 63-3 Tigers over Wake Forest. Ouch. Deep boot by Jordan Stout. Again, may not see many kickoff returns tonight. Kick off your Week 5 NFL Sunday on ESPN, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Sunday NFL Countdown crew will have all the updates. Odell Beckham sounding off on the 1-3 start by the G-men. Not getting him the ball enough. That would be probably at the top of his list of complaints. Redskins, who play Monday night, have 3 ex-Hokies on their team, and those guys are on the sidelines tonight. Bud Foster would like to have Tim Settle, Strom, and a few other guys in uniform if he could. Notre Dame might notice. Williams has a lot of room and gets the edge, and just a easy run, untouched almost, down near the 40.
Well, they lost the edge of their defense. You see this movement right here on the outside by Gaines, and watch how once he moves to the inside, there's just nobody out there. Ricky Walker kind of on a stunt there, trying to get out there. That's a tough ask for a defensive tackle. Notre Dame calls the right play at the right time.
Now it's play action, and Book takes another downfield shot, and Fink was wide wide open again, overshot him.
Yeah, they're going to continue to go after that matchup because Fink against Rodgers is a mismatch. And especially on 1st and 10, he's got the cushion, little hesitation, goes right by him. Man, and that I can't believe he's out there, but you can't do it all defensively, and Book would love to have that one back. By the way, 1st and 10 is where Ian Book likes to throw the football. He's been incredibly successful these last 3 weeks doing that.
Sure has. Doesn't every quarterback love to throw the football on 1st and 10?
Well, he was 20 of 28 combined against Wake Forest, and again last week what he was able to do. And if you look tonight, he's already 6 of 8. So Brian Kelly, I don't blame him. You see the matchup he's getting against Rodgers. Just keep going back to it until Bud Foster makes an adjustment.
It'll be 3rd and 2 when we come back to begin quarter number 2. The Irish leading 10-3. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. There's more bad news for already depleted Tech secondary. It's Caleb Farley, their redshirt freshman corner, fastest guy on the team. Maria reporting he's got a gimpy ankle. You can see he can barely put weight on it. And now they go right to work attacking that secondary. Miles Boykin makes the catch in front of the true freshman Waller.
Yeah, that's great accuracy. Throws it over top of the head of Waller, who's in zone, trying to get underneath of that throw. But again, the rhythm, the timing, great job by Ian Book throwing there to the big, tall Miles Boykin.
He had missed his last 3 after starting 8 for 8. And now Book downfield again. Boykin got tied up in traffic and couldn't get there. Javon Quillen, as the backups are all over at Tech secondary tonight at the moment.
And a lot of them are just inexperienced players. I mean, Quillen's a junior who's probably improved the most in the secondary. And you mentioned
special teams guy.
Yeah, but he's improved a lot as a corner. He's going to get some action, obviously, tonight with that injury to Farley.
Book rolls and flips it short. And knocked down after a short gain is Mack by Rodgers.
Yeah, that's more of Rodgers' play. Tyree Rodgers as a safety, that's more of what you'd like to see him do. Go up against a tight end and have to be able to make a tackle against a big, tall tight end, who's, by the way, a pretty good athlete. But when you leave him one-on-one against Chris Fink, he's going to lose that battle more often than not.
Irish need 6 on this 3rd down. Tony Jones is the back. Fink comes in motion now to the slot. And Book flushed. Tries to create on the move, and he'll be knocked out of bounds short of the marker. Ricky Walker, the big man, pursued him, and it's 4th down.
See, this time Bud Foster he's just kind of mixing up the looks, doing anything he can to try to get Ian Book out of this rhythm. So instead of playing man-to-man and bringing pressure, that time rushes 4, plays zone.
Would you call it smoke and mirrors? He's kind of grasping.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the best defensive minds in the game, and he's only doing what he can do with what he has. But he's kind of picking his spots to play man and when to play zone. That time dials up the zone and does a good job of making Book hold on to the ball.
Tyler Newsome, the Irish 4th-year starting punter, to boot it away. C.J. Carroll standing at his 8, and it's mishandled. And now Newsome running around, and he'll be dropped back at the 45. A special teams gaff gives the Hokies life.
Well, this is just a bad snap. Punter never has a chance. He tries to short hop it, and then by the time he gets the football, you can clearly see all the Hokies are all over him.
Kind of deer in the headlights. Maybe you should try to kick the ball somewhere. He's not going to run for a first down.
I think just the snap itself being so low by Shannon surprised him, and his eyes started to go up, and he saw all those jerseys coming towards him. Let's see, after a sudden change, what Virginia Tech can do here.
And a whistle again before the snap. They call timeout. And Justin Fuente is hot.
Timeout.
He's fired
Virginia
up.
Tech, their first of the half.
He wants Willis to come over. Sudden change offense wasn't quite ready to go.
So much for easing in as a starting quarterback. Welcome in, kid. Welcome in from Kansas.
Well, season Taco Bell celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the best student section of the year. Virginia Tech student section on the watch list. So go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell. See how your school can compete. Students fired up, quiet now, hoping the Hokie offense can convert that bad punt snap into points. And Willis, big pump fake. And tries to take a shot downfield, looking for his favorite guy, Hazelton, but excellent coverage by Troy Pride Jr.
Yeah, Troy Pride, I think, is probably the most improved defensive back that they have. Watch 5, and he senses that little hesitation, that little stutter and go. Great thing he did is right away he's thinking about him getting deep. So he turns his head, looks at the quarterback, and anticipates the throw, and easily is in position in phase and knocks it away.
Here's a keeper and a hard hit. Willis just lowers his head and absorbs the shot from Loie Gilman. It'll be third down.
Remember, Willis, a big guy at 223 pounds at 6'4". I mean, he's accelerating and heads right into Gilman, who's 202 pounds, but he's a big man running when he pulls the ball like that.
Peoples is the back. They need 5. And Willis slings a slant. Hazelton again has got it. He's got a first down in the red zone. That connection, Willis to Hazelton, firing tonight again.
He goes into motion, and that's to try to affect the communication with the Notre Dame coverage. Nice job of protecting and giving him the time, but there's that connection once again, Chris, with Willis and Hazelton, who are very familiar with each other going back to last year on the scout team.
It's an offense. You take out the William and Mary game, and the Hokies have really struggled on third down. But a 3-for-5 start tonight, and yet another mental mistake. That's a third false start.
Infractions. Number 75, offense.
You know, before we put it all on Hoyt, part of what Hoyt's dealing with is, you're at home, you would think it'd be easy for the center, but you have a new quarterback and a new kind of just feel to the cadence and to the snap. And right now, I think Hoyt's still trying to get comfortable with Willis being in there, as opposed to Josh Jackson, who he's much more comfortable with and the rhythm of how he called a game.
Hoyt, the sophomore, not one of the more experienced linemen. And now Willis backpedaling. Chase, can he escape? He cannot. Sacked back at the 35-yard line. Julian Okwara got there in a hurry.
That's great coverage, but this shows you the inexperience of Ryan Willis. I mean, he's got to throw this ball away. Remember, Notre Dame is known for rushing the quarterback and great pass rushers. Not only that, they bring Coney. He has to have that internal clock going. He's got to get outside of the pocket and throw that football away.
They had the ball in the red zone, Kirk. That penalty, and now an 11-yard loss makes it 2nd and 26. Irish rush 4. Willis has time and delivers into the zone. Slipping after the catch was Savoy. Get a small chunk of the yardage back. It'll be third down and about 15.
Well-designed play there by Justin Fuente, using the back. Stephen Peoples to take Coney out to the outside. It really opened up the middle of the field. And I tell you, when he puts his foot in the ground and he's one hitch and throws, not only with a lot of velocity, but typically pretty accurate.
Savoy in motion. They fake the backwards pass, and Peoples tries to hit a crease, but flying up was Drew Tranquil, who's playing with a cast on that hand. He had a fractured bone in his hand against Stanford. That's a quality tackle.
Yeah, he's up tight, showing blitz, and then kind of settles. And then the center, Hoyt, who's had a rough night, tries to pick him up, but no chance. Even with that cast, Tranquil is, he went from being a safety to a rover. Now a linebacker makes the play.
Again, Brian Johnson on to kick a field goal, and he's got a leg, booms it way up in the net from 43, and the Hokies cash in the special teams miscue for 3, cut the lead to 4.
Football, presented by Wells Fargo on ABC, is brought to you by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And by the new 2019 Ford Edge, featuring new Ford Copilot 360 technology.
So Joe Theismann, one of the Notre Dame greats, who actually reached out to Ian Book via a phone call when he was named the starting quarterback. You get lots of potential famous dudes to ring you up. When you become the quarterback at Notre Dame, you become a celebrity in this sport. And a strong start for Book. Defense, a good job as the Tech team sort of self-destructed after they got down in scoring position with the false start and the sack. So the lead still 4. And Young will let this one sail way over the end line. The Bear, Chris Felica, will give us his update on his selections from College Game Day and the Affleck trivia question in that order.
Do I have to give the update on the board today?
Yes.
We took the offer. But more importantly, tonight's halftime trivia question you wanted a challenge? I'm going to give you a challenge. Virginia Tech 2-34 all-time versus AP top 6 teams. Notre Dame 6th in the AP poll. It's a lot of losses, but not the most. Which team has lost the most number of games versus AP top 6 opponents?
We're going to be as successful as you are with your picks today, Ben.
Yeah, you're right.
And Misery needs company.
And the Irish give it to Dexter Williams, and the Hokies swarm him. They strung it out, and Ricky Walker again from the middle got out there for the edge.
Now this is Virginia Tech defense slanting, angling, and getting off of blocks. This is what you like to see. They also are getting pressure. They bring Ladler. You can see also 21 Reggie Floyd getting up in there. That's why you see Notre Dame throwing on 1st and 10. Virginia Tech being very aggressive on early downs, and I think Book is going to go back to doing that because of the one-on-one chances.
Book backpedals in the pocket and delivers a strike. Catch made across the middle by Kimmett, and it's going to be 3rd and short. Big dude sandwiched but held on.
They've got 3 or 4 really good-looking tight ends at Notre Dame with good size, great tradition of having tremendous NFL quality tight ends. It's a big 3rd down here for both teams.
Matt's got high pain threshold. He's been dealing with a high ankle sprain, playing through it. Tony Jones is the back on 3rd and 5. They fake it to him and flip it to Claypool, who's got a couple blockers, and he's got a 1st down across the 35.
It's a beauty of having size at wide receiver. Get those tight ends out in front, and Claypool's basically like a tight end himself. It's 6'4", almost 6'5", and about 230 pounds. He can do a lot of damage after the catch.
The Canadian is the special teams gunner.
Remember the last 1st and 10, they slanted, they angled, they brought safety pressure. Look for Book here. That looks like Notre Dame's going to call a timeout.
That'll give a rest because Bud Foster had put in the 2nd team defensive lineman. The backups at all 4 positions were out there. We'll see if he leaves them in after this timeout. 8:34 until halftime. Notre Dame up by 4.
Cassidy Hubbard with your DirecTV. More for your college football thing. Number 8, Auburn struggling in Stark Vegas. Nick Fitzgerald, 1-yard score, ruled a touchdown. It was reviewed and upheld. Bulldogs up 13-3. Auburn just 79 yards of offense in the first half. This game on ESPN2. Chris?
79 yards. Wow, Cassidy.
Urgency and redemption there for Mississippi State.
Kimmett shakes a tackle. Big dude just barreling into the Hokie secondary. Another 1st down near midfield.
I love these tight ends. They are physical. They've got good hands. Again, this guy's 6'5", 260. Remember 1st and 10? Virginia Tech tendency to show pressure. So instead of taking a shot downfield, they just get it out on the perimeter in a hurry to the big tight end.
None of those guys are any fun to tackle. Book in the pocket, delivers. Claypool was open briefly, but overshot. Quillen finally caught up in coverage.
Yeah, if they're going to load the box and come after you, you got to take those shots. Just to, if nothing else, try to push them back and get back to being able to run the football. Remember, Fink, who's not on the field right now, he's had the mismatch, the biggest mismatch of the night against Rodgers.
Running the football is something neither team has done well. Irish with 6 yards rushing so far, and Book looking to throw again. It's almost like a running play. Sophomore Michael Young makes the catch and is tackled by Bryce Watts.
Well, it's really a triple option. I mean, his first read is DeBose, and once he makes that read, he committed to the running back, so he kept it and he came downfield, but Virginia Tech had every angle covered.
These Hokies survived the early Irish efficiency. They've got back in the game, and now a chance to get off the field on 3rd and 10. Only a 3-man rush. Book has all day and takes another shot. And it's a incompletion over the head of Boykin, who was wrestling with Watts. No flag and no chance really against double coverage.
Bud Foster's answer is to try to get in Book in this offense to 3rd down and then rush 3 or 4 and then sit back with 7 or 8. This time he goes with 8 in coverage. Much tougher on Book, obviously, to read when you've got 8 guys downfield in coverage.
Now, John Shannon, who had never delivered a bad snap his Notre Dame career, did so last time. Keep an eye on that as Newsom He's back to punt, and that snap is perfect. The boot is very high. And Carroll is going to make a fair catch, but not before muffing it. Booming punt. Almost 5 seconds of hang time. Tech pinned back inside the 10. The bareback for the Athletic Trivia question and answer. It's got to be a team that plays in a conference with a lot of strong, highly ranked teams. Could it be like a Vanderbilt, Northwestern?
I say Northwestern. Talk to me,
Both
Greg.
of those good guesses, and you have the right conference, Kirk. The answer to tonight's Athletic Trivia question, which team has lost the most? It's Wisconsin. You would assume a lot of those teams, top 6 Ohio State, Michigan type teams. So good guess.
Not bad.
You got us this week. I think it broke our winning streak. Hokies backed up. McLeese is the back. And Willis is going to keep it. And he's going to get the edge. Scoots out of bounds. It's a Tech offensive line, Kirk, that's had 5 penalties. The 4 false starts and the ineligible downfield against Darisaw that negated the touchdown. So
negated the
touchdown.
Struggle. And don't forget, they also, when they were deep inside Notre Dame territory, they had the sack, which also hurt a scoring chance, a scoring opportunity. So they've had opportunities to not only be able to stay in this game, but possibly take the lead the way their defense is held in there.
Grimsley on the end around, not looking to throw it this time. Makes a high step move and is slung down by Pride after a first down.
Great block there to lead the run there by the running back McLeese. 33 takes down Bilal, gives him a little bit more room, lowers that shoulder and gets the first down.
Yeah, just the 6th first down Tech has been able to generate. Grimsley in motion again. They fake it to him. Willis makes a long throw. Too long. Airmailed into the bench, but you see the arm strength you talked about.
Yeah, he can make that throw from the left hash all the way on the outcut. Seems like they continue to try to get the ball to Damon Hazelton.
How hard is that to defend? If you get a quarterback that can get it from one hash to the numbers on the opposite side.
Yeah. Typically that field corner is giving a big cushion, not thinking most college quarterbacks can make that throw.
3 receivers to the right. And Willis slips it in the slot. That was inaccurately thrown. Tried to get to Eric Kuma. It was behind him. 3rd and 10.
I'm kind of surprised that Virginia Tech hasn't been able to try to run the ball more. You know, right now they only run for 31 yards. They have 10 carries on the night. Notre Dame has a very talented defensive line, but we'll see as this game goes. You're not going to do it here on 3rd down, but I thought we'd see a little bit more balance from them running the football.
And snapping the ball is Chung. They move the guard to center, and a blindside hit. And that was Okwara off the edge. It affected the throw, and it's 4th down.
Keeps talking about it, but when you have Kareem and Tillery and Hayes, and here comes Okwara on the outside, and that's a true freshman left tackle who studied all week about Julian Okwara and what he needs to do to be able to get that left foot out, but still too quick for him to get around the edge.
Fink decides to make a fair catch at the 36-yard line. So inside of 6 minutes to go before halftime, and the Irish will try to add to their 4-point lead. Next week, Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo will be in the Big House in Ann Arbor. And for the Wolverines today, and a game that was delayed by weather, and Wisconsin rolled in there. Big Ten battle. It starts at 7:30 Eastern time. 17-point lead for the moment for the Badgers against the Cornhuskers, still winless.
You know, we always talk Jonathan Taylor, but Alex Hornibrook having a very good year, very accurate passer, and become a veteran with that offense.
See if the Irish offense can get the rhythm that they had going in the first couple series.
Well, this is the guy that they were hitting early on 1st and 10.
And it's going to be a play action throw, but it's intercepted, picked off by Reggie Floyd. And Floyd with the first turnover of the game sets Tech up in Notre Dame territory.
I think this is one of the first mistakes we've seen Ian Book make in the last 3 weeks. He never sees Reggie Floyd, who's down almost like a linebacker, kind of sneaking down, and I don't think he ever saw him. He was so locked in on making that throw that I don't even think he took into consideration that Floyd would be there. And it's one of the first, as I said, first mistakes that Ian Book has made in 3 starts.
ACC defensive back of the week last week, and he had a lot of the turf monster got him because he had a lot of room on that return. Tech at the 42. Willis looking to throw down the field. Savoy is there, and it's broken up. Had a chance. Elliott was defending him. They continue to take shots downfield.
Right, I don't blame him. Again, much like we saw on the other side with Notre Dame trying to get the ball to Chris Fink, this time it's Savoy. And if the ball is led in front of him, it's probably a touchdown for Savoy, but he has to come back to the ball, which allows Elliott to go up there with his size and knock the ball away from the shorter Savoy, who's only 5'9".
Terrific play by Elliott, whose dad Anthony played here at Virginia Tech. His parents, in fact, met as students at Tech. Peoples makes a cut in the clear, breaks the tackle, still running, and Tech will be down at the 1-yard line. Finally, the Tech running game produces a big play, 41 yards.
Watch this block by the center right there on Tranquil. He cuts behind that, and then a poor effort there by the safety Elliott. Tremendous block downfield by the receivers. Looked like that might have been Phil Patterson. He's well short of the goal line. But I love to see receivers 30 yards downfield trying to help a running back out. That time it was Phil Patterson. Almost got him all the way to the end zone.
Good look at the progressive pylon cam. So it's 1st and goal. And second effort at the ball. And that scrum down there. Quarterback Willis is trying to help his running back.
Forget the lineman pushing him back. The quarterback is getting in there trying to throw his back into the end zone. Told you he's got a linebacker mentality for a quarterback.
So the poor snap on the punt, which they cashed in for 3, and then the interception by Floyd, and Tech, after staggering early, Kirk, poised to take the lead.
How about Willis? He's 1 yard away from taking the lead against the number 6 team in the country.
And again, nothing doing for Peoples. Knocked down by Khalid Kareem, who came careening around the edge.
Yeah, we talk a lot about these Notre Dame defensive line and how good they are as pass rushers, but total package, Khalid Kareem, 53, does a good job of working around the block. Tranquil gets in there as well.
I think they moved backwards in the 2 carries. It's 3rd and goal. And they collide in the backfield. Willis and Peoples bump into each other, and a loss back to the 5. It is 4th down. Wow, what a sequence.
Yeah, that's another thing where you see a quarterback that hasn't taken a lot of snaps, a miscue between he and Peoples, who's a veteran, a senior. You can pretty much assure the senior went the right way, and you wonder which way the quarterback went, and Virginia Tech right at the 1 yard line has to settle for a field goal.
What a win for the Notre Dame defense, which made 2 stops and then got an assist. Johnson knocks through his 3rd field goal, but the Irish are still on top. Ryan Willis talked about his energy. He was hot. He was annoyed after that collision with Peoples, cost him a chance to score.
Yeah, I want to clean this up. I assumed it was on the quarterback. In fact, it was on the senior Peoples. I just assumed the inexperienced Willis, maybe down there he just blew a fuse, but in fact Peoples, when he came over, kind of tapped himself on the chest saying my bad. So that's on the senior.
So again, the miscue cash, but only for 3 as Tech leaves 4 points on the field right there. Peoples having a conversation with his position coach upstairs. So the Irish, Kirk, have 3:21, and we'll see if Book can shake off quickly that first mistake.
But you made a good point about, we're talking a lot about what happened with Willis and the Virginia Tech offense. The Notre Dame defense, shoestring tackle prevents Peoples from scoring, and then they bow up down there for 3 downs and force that field goal.
Tony Jones is the back. They fake it to him. Pressure off the edge. And Book, no chance. Just heaves it to the bench. Maybe have a conversation about grounding here. Khalil Ladler is wearing that number 25 jersey tonight, honoring Frank Beamer.
All they want to know is, did the ball get across the line of scrimmage? That's all this discussion is about. He was outside the tackle box area, and once he got outside of that tackle box, if you throw it away and it gets beyond the line of scrimmage, you're good.
Requires the opinions of different officials, and it will be intentional grounding.
There you go.
Intentional grounding. Number 12, offense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. Second down.
You can see it sailed out of bounds very near the line of scrimmage. Dave Kataya, a rules expert, alongside as always.
He was not out of the tackle box. He took about 3 steps to the right, not out of the tackle box, and there was nobody in the area. That's a good call. Okay. Got help from the line judge on that.
Second down and 20, and Lane Stadium's gotten loud again. Short drop, short completion to Alize Mack, knocked down by Floyd, the interceptor.
If you're a Virginia Tech fan, that's what you want to see from your defensive backs against these taller receivers and tight ends. Very few yards after the reception. He was all over Mack right after he made the play. You see Farley back out of the field trying to fight through that pain that he's had earlier in this game.
Yeah, that ankle heavily wrapped.
Remember, they've been playing a lot of zone on these third downs.
Hokies rush 5. Book has time. Now hit as he throws. Hit really hard. And he is helped to his feet. Seems to be in some pain. And the Tech defense has made a stand.
And that was Rashard Ashby, the middle linebacker, 23, kind of spying him. And then it decides to not spy him and lower the hammer. He realized that Book wasn't going anywhere. So he attacks him to force the ball out of his hands. And good to see Ian Book get up from that hit because Ashby hit him hard.
Ooh, thank goodness for those chest pads the quarterbacks wear.
Yeah.
Newsome has already had the one misadventure tonight. Snap roll back to him, and he trying to run around and got tackled. Carroll standing at his 30. That snap was low again. Newsome gets the punt away, and it's a boomer way back inside the 20. But Carroll has got room. Newsome outkicked the coverage a bit, and a good return sets Tech up near the 40-yard line with 2:17 to play. 58-yard punt, 19 the other way. Monday Night Football. You can see NFL history. Drew Brees 200 yards shy of Peyton Manning's record for most career passing yards. Saints and the Redskins from the Superdome, 8:15 on ESPN, almost simulcast on ESPN2. So you get a chance to see history. Mark Ingram bouncing back in there, and Hokie fans can see 3 Virginia Tech ex-players. A dominant second quarter. Tech has held the Irish to 31 total yards. Peoples, who had that big run, stopped just short of a touchdown, back in the game. Willis rolling out, and he's hit as he throws. The ball just flutters to the turf. He's fortunate it wasn't picked off. Kareem was pressuring him.
Yeah, well, Kareem not only pressured him, I think he got his hand on the ball. I think Willis is trying to throw that ball once he was outside of that pocket, out of bounds. He's just trying to throw it away, but I think Kareem touched the ball or touched his arm. Yeah. And because of that, the ball stayed in play. It's kind of floating up in the air, and Notre Dame almost comes away with an interception. Again, Kareem making his presence felt earlier against the run, and also as a pass rusher. He's got the eye black going all over his face.
Well, they are among the best teams at pressuring the quarterback off the edge. Kuma is a powerful receiver, worked hard in the weight room to gain strength as a receiver and a blocker, brought down by Tillery. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Again, Notre Dame, the area they've improved the most is Khalid Kareem, Dalen Hayes, Julian Okwara, Jerry Tillery. When they want to turn it loose, they do not have to blitz, even though a lot of times they'll walk up Coney and Tranquil and show blitz. A lot of times they'll drop and just rely on those 4 to be able to get after the quarterback and beat those linemen.
Just one sack, Kirk, but as you pointed out, they pressured and hurried Willis frequently. They rush 4, and Willis trying to escape, and does. And he'll run for a first down into Notre Dame territory. A deceptive athlete. He can beat you with his feet.
The only thing is they spread the entire Notre Dame defense out. So you see the running lanes all over the place. Once he decides to be able to escape the pressure, there's nobody there. Nobody there to really spy him. Jones, a defensive end who didn't have the quickness to make the play, but they didn't have Coney there or Tranquil with the man-to-man coverage.
Willis, as a passer, has missed 5 in a row. Has to dodge pressure again, running for his life. Loses the football. It's a takeaway for the Irish. And Julian Love is going to score the other way. A scoop and score. Reverses momentum.
Jones is going to get the touchdown, but the man who deserves the credit again, Khalid Kareem. Relentless approach and effort here, just not giving up on the play. Goes down on the ground and still comes up to knock that ball loose for Love to pick up and score the touchdown.
So this Irish defense, which has done a good job keeping Tech out of the end zone, puts 7 points on the board. Yoon boots it through, and it's 17-9.
Chris, he's over here lined up on the right. He comes around, but I want you to watch why this ends up being a play. Again, going to get a true freshman, pushes through a double team. He's on the ground. You're thinking he's out of the play, but watch this. Gets up, knocks the ball away, and there's Love. Aware, picks it up, and obviously goes in for the touchdown. But I'd love to see that effort there by Kareem. And there's an example of Ryan Willis just trying to do too much and not having experience to fall back on.
Julian Love could not have asked for a better bounce. He's a kid who grew up in Chicago, grew up a big Notre Dame fan, living his dream. And Kelly has seen the offense cool off a lot, but the defense finds the end zone. Willis felt the pressure, desperately trying to escape. He didn't count on Kareem coming from behind and knocking it loose.
What a player Khalid Kareem is. Notre Dame's got defensive linemen. They've got some athletes up there.
Kareem, an excellent player. They also say he's a model student athlete, just a hard worker. Makes the guys around him better. We could stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. Start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visit ESPNplus.com. Quiet Lane Stadium at the moment. There's an Irish player down on the field. Brandon Hudson, backup defensive lineman. So Notre Dame's offense, Kirk, came out, and Ian Book was on fire, completed his first 8 pass attempts, and they quieted this crowd. Then Tech, thanks to some mistakes, found a way to get back in the game, and that suddenly, that lightning strike there by Love has changed everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's college football. You think you're in a position and maybe, hey, how about this? Hasn't been a great first half, but have the ball late in the first half, maybe a chance to get points on the board. But in the blink of an eye, the game goes the other way, and now you're fighting back uphill again. But still have a lot of football to be played in this game. And, of course, you always get the adjustments at halftime for both these teams and see if they can try to come up with some more offense. This Notre Dame offense, it's been in rhythm for 3 weeks. And they started the game on fire with a couple great drives with Ian Book. Their last 4 possessions, punt, interception, and a punt.
You saw the -2 rush yard. This team that came in averaging 200 yards per game on the ground. They ran right through Stanford last week. So now it's Willis that has to shake off a mistake. You feed McLeese. He's got a nice first down game. We'll see if Fuente plays with any urgency here. They do have the 2 timeouts, but inside of a minute now. They're going to play with some tempo, see if they can threaten. Oh, it's a drop. Hazelton took his eyes off the ball and looked upfield.
You could really go back and look at the first half and add up the miscues, not only the penalties and the drop drop balls like that from Hazelton, but they had that reversed throw for a touchdown that had a legal man downfield. They had a sack for a loss of about 15 or 20 yards, and they're in field goal range. That fumble, the previous possession, where Love picked it up. I mean, Virginia Tech has hurt themselves as much as Notre Dame has.
And now Hazelton makes a catch, almost broke free, wrestled down near midfield. Clock stops momentarily, 44 seconds to go. And the Hokies hurry. Not going to use the timeout here. Willis from the pocket again delivers another strike, and Hazelton's knocked out at the 40, so suddenly they are threatening.
Yeah, when in doubt, he's looking up his favorite target, Hazelton. Doesn't matter if it's against Troy Pride or Julian Love. He just feels that his bigger receiver can win those one-on-one matchups.
Hazelton headed for a third consecutive 100-yard game, 6 for 73 so far. Still have the 2 timeouts. And now Notre Dame jumped off the edge there. It was Jameer Jones who caused the flinch on the offensive line.
Offside, number 44, defense. Entering the neutral zone, causing an offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Just kind of a freeze call there. Remember, Virginia Tech deferred the toss that they won, so they do get the ball to start the second half.
Pressure up the middle, they pick it up, and Willis delivers to Hazelton again. He's got the catch down in the red zone.
He was waiting and waiting and waiting, and eventually Hazelton broke free.
And now they'll use a timeout.
Yeah, this is, you know, you think it is Justin Fuente after that turnover, they're just going to kind of work the clock and go down 8 at half, and instead they had some urgency, hit Hazelton a few times, and now they're inside the red zone.
They've moved it 56 yards in 41 seconds to give themselves a chance. Still have one more timeout. Here's that ineligible man downfield that ruined the Grimsley to Savoy touchdown.
Yeah, Darrisaw, the freshman, this is a trick play early in the game that they executed perfectly, other than the offensive lineman getting downfield. And here's an open running back, Wheatley out of the backfield, but if it was a better throw, it's a touchdown. And here's where Peoples went the wrong way, bumped into the quarterback, and then the previous possession, the great effort by Kareem. Ball goes on the ground, Love picks it up, and it's a touchdown. There's a lot of other offensive penalties that they've had. The offensive linemen making some mistakes.
Irish made a couple mistakes too, but Tech not able to convert them to touchdowns. And Hazelton, after that drop, has caught passes of 16, 12, and 21 yards.
Want to get the ball out of his hands quickly here. 1 timeout remaining.
See if the Irish bring pressure again. Now they just rush 4, and Willis has time and loops it for the end zone. Incomplete. Pride was defending Kuma, and Jalen Elliott, the safety, got there to defend as well. 23 seconds left.
I almost felt that Jalen Elliott was baiting him to throw the ball. Willis really telegraphed that throw, stared him down the whole way, and that's what brought Elliott over. Elliott was as much of a factor in that game, or in that play, as the corner was.
ESPN ref Cam giving you a look in the official's hat.
Hazelton, his favorite target, at the bottom.
Willis looking to the left again. Long throw, catch made Savoy. And a flag is down where the quarterback was hit.
I think he got hit high.
Well, that'll
look like Okwara.
That'll move it half the distance. The ball's at the 7-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer with targeting.
Oh.
Number 91.
Yeah.
Defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down. The play is under further review.
So Ogundeje flag for targeting. Of course, they'll review it as they always do.
The first hit comes from Okwara right there. You know, I don't know how he pulled 91 into that. To me, it looked like 42. The initial contact was Julian Okwara.
He got pinballed. You're right, by Okwara.
And after he hit him, Ogundeje just happened to be rushing from the other side, and after he was hit by Okwara, bounced into him.
So Steve McBride, the ACC replay official, will decide the fate of Ogundeji. Tech, though, threatening again. Good resilience to bounce back after the fumble, scoop, and score. Isn't it a look?
Well, maybe the follow through is the only thing I guess you can see. Right here's the initial hit.
They said 91. They meant 42.
That's what I'm saying. But 91 hits him after that shot. Here's Okwara. Boom.
No, it is the crown of the helmet.
Yeah.
And after a quarterback is following through and throwing the ball, he's considered in a defenseless position. Dave Katire is our rules expert. Let's see what you think about this review, Dave.
To me, this is targeting. He doesn't have to get it with a crown of the helmet, but he did. But you have all the elements. You have a launch, you have him lowering his head, and you have a defenseless player. To me, this is targeting.
I think sometimes people struggle with defenseless player. They're expecting the crown of the helmet to be involved, and when it's a defenseless player, it's not the case.
Was on number 42. He is disqualified from the ball game.
Exactly. Defenseless player can be any hand arm. But he even gets him almost with a crown in this play.
He checked every box, didn't he?
Absolutely right.
And so they lose one of their best pass rushers of the game now.
And best pass rusher this year, even though we've had a big night from Khalif Kareem, 53. Okwara, it's a big loss. I mean, we've seen Virginia Tech down inside his 5-yard line and not come away with a touchdown. 16 seconds remaining, one timeout.
Peoples is the back. Hazelton comes in motion, now reverses. And Willis rolls that way and flings it to him. Touchdown! Finally, they find the end zone. Who else but Hazelton? The two best buddies hooked up throughout the entire drive. And Tech will not go for two in the tie. Johnson on to attempt the PAT. $75 yards, 8 plays, Kurt, less than a minute.
The motion is critical here because it sets up what they want. See Gilman 11, he struggles to get out to the outside because of the traffic. It's basically a pick by these two wide receivers. Both of them will run to the inside, forces Gilman to have to go around them. And when he went around them, he just was unable to stay tight enough. See right there, he had to go around the traffic. The progressive pylon cam gives you a good look at it by going wider, makes it an easy throw, and Willis got it out of his hands quickly. And Hokies strike 75 yards in less than a minute.
Hazelton, the transfer from Ball State, he was in the stands with his buddy Willis watching these games a year ago, ineligible to play. Now has a touchdown in all 5 games that he's played at Virginia Tech, and he's had a monster first half, 8 for 92. It's become predictable, but the Irish have not stopped it. 1-point game after a back and forth, mistake-filled first half. Mistakes for both sides. And the Tech offense will get the ball, as you said, to start the third quarter. Lane Stadium alive again.
The thing I want to see in the second half, not just Lane Stadium and the energy, hopefully that'll continue all night. It's fun to watch. But the Notre Dame's offense, the adjustments from what we'll see from Brian Kelly and Chip Long, because as I said, their first couple possessions tonight looked like same old Ian Book over the last 2 weeks. But the last 4 possessions give Bud Foster credit for coming up with ways to take away the run and get Ian Book rattled. We've not seen that since he's been a starter, but he's been rattled the last 4 possessions.
They take a knee, they lose a couple more yards, so about 21 yards of offense for the Irish in that second quarter. Tech with the late drive draws within 1. And the energy is back. One of the best environments in college football. We'll get Brian Kelly's thoughts, or excuse me, Justin Fuente's thoughts. He's making his way toward Maria Taylor right now. Tech will go to their little grungy locker room here in the stadium, not the fancy one they walked in from. Hoop will be better than it was about 10 minutes ago. And Maria's ready with Justin Fuente now.
All right, Coach, after Notre Dame scoop and score, you pulled your quarterback aside and he led a touchdown drive. What did you say to him?
Just needs to relax. He's trying to make every play ever invented in the history of football. I mean, just calm down, okay? Let's play within the system. If it's not there, throw the ball away, and we'll go play the next play. He wants to make plays so bad, he's pressing a little bit.
Your offense gets the ball back to start the second half. How do you clean up those miscues?
Well, if we would just relax a little bit and execute a little better, I think we'll have a chance to have success. But we have run the ball at times, all right. Just a little bit of execution would help us out a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Fuente was a quarterback at Oklahoma, and like Willis, he struggled there, transferred away. They have a lot in common, and a good bond, I think. Tough love sometimes. End of the first half at Blacksburg. Kevin, Mac, and Jonathan will come along with the halftime report after these messages. You saw 7 for his last 15 after the 8 for 8 start and a bunch of short completions. So Tech's offense, after that long march before halftime, will go right back to work. This is Terrius Wheatley, and he fights hard, picks his way across the 25-yard line. Pacific Life game summary. The Irish offense, first 2 possessions, produced 10 points. Boy, Book was just slinging it around. You called it kind of just layups, making layups.
Yeah, making layups, making quick decisions, getting the ball out of his hands. And this is where you saw the coach, Justin Fuente, saying Ryan Willis just trying to do too much, trying to make every play there is. And Notre Dame scores the touchdown. And instead of just pulling their horns in and going down 8, they decided to attack and ended up getting a touchdown to pull within 1, and now they get the ball here.
Willis looking to throw on first down. It's a hitch, and the catch made. Yeah, he said try to make every play in the history of football within a half.
And you and I agreed. We even mentioned in the first half that you could kind of see him. He's so excited to be the starter for this team and playing the number 6 team in the country in for Josh Jackson. And he's fired up, man. He's trying to make plays, but he's got to know, again, where to draw the line and where to kind of give up on certain plays if they're not there.
They hand it off. Coming around the corner. Busting free is Stephen Peoples. Peoples had that huge run in the first half down to the 1, but they couldn't punch it in Irish territory.
Notre Dame's giving some big creases in that defense, but give Virginia Tech credit for getting up to that second level. Zechariah Hoyt, the center. Really good block there on Drew Tranquil, and Peoples again out in open space. Not just a big physical back, has improved his quickness, the senior.
The dude with all that hair, Hoyt, was taken out briefly. They put Chung at center and to calm the big fella down, but he is back in there. Peoples into heavy traffic. Jerry Tillery just bear hugged him. You haven't seen Tillery as a pass rusher. He's the guy that came in with the co-lead in the country, Kirk, with 7 sacks.
He had 4 last week alone against Stanford and has made a name for himself this year. Great length at 6'6", almost 6'7", 305 pounds. You know, they moved him from what they call the shade, kind of the nose guard, to the 3 technique where he's over against a guard. And the coach is telling us the reason the production is up, he's a better fit there for Brian Kelly because they get him involved in more twists and different things, more involved as a pass rusher.
Good protection this time with the ball thrown behind the receiver. Chris Cunningham, the tight end. Tillery's a guy, Kirk, in his senior year who has decided that it's important to him. He's not been known for being the best teammate, to put it frankly, throughout his career, but he has turned it on in his senior season. Contract year 4, maybe.
Yeah. I think he's a very intelligent young man, and I think football has become even more important to him. And he said that, now you'll see him very committed to film study and trying to look for any kind of edge he can get, especially when it comes to rushing a quarterback in these situations.
3rd and 9. Empty backfield. Irish rush 4, and Willis is flushed and flips it short, but the completion well short of the first down.
So
Boy, knocked down.
Chris, this is the beauty, again, of rushing the 4 and not needing to blitz because it frees up eyes to be able to get on the quarterback and be able to react. See, he's flushed. He's got to get rid of the ball. Tillery and company getting after him. You have 2 or 3 different Notre Dame defenders.
Ooh, the high snap. And Bradburn had to go up and grab it. And gets off a good punt. And the Hokie punt team does its job. The group that has not allowed a single punt return yard all year. And you see why. Irish will take over at the 5. Through that thin cloud layer, the Goodyear blimp, the peak at Lane Stadium. From the end zone to the uprights, nothing comes between hard work and a goal. Goodyear, more driven. Not doing much driving lately as the Irish offense since those 10 early points. Stopped on 4th and short, punt, pick, another punt, and then kneel down before half. And now Book and company take over at the 5. Williams smothered, drop for a loss. Rayshard Ashby there.
Boy, Hewitt makes a great play here. Walker's known to be able to get penetration. Hewitt, and also you'll see the middle linebacker Ashby get involved. Boy, great quickness. Low center of gravity. They say he's a workhorse in the weight room, and that quickness paid off there.
Williams turns the corner and look out. Dexter Williams in a foot race. Can they run him down? No! 98-yard touchdown. Second time the Hokies get within 1. And the Irish produce an electric play to stretch the lead back.
Not only are they within 1, they've got Notre Dame pinned deep inside their own territory. And just like that, the second week in a row, Dexter Williams provides a lift to the Notre Dame offense after being suspended the first 4 games of the season.
Talked about that Irish ground game that was in negative yards until that run. It was -5 net rushing yards until Williams took it 97 to the house.
Watch the right guard come around. Kramer does a nice job of picking up a block. Boykin also kind of on a seal block right here on the linebacker. But also, I think what happens here is as Kramer comes around, makes a pick, Farley's free to be able to help out here, but he overruns it, and that's where Williams ends up cutting back, and there's no one left.
You get that defense so hyped up, so aggressive down there at the goal line after the tackle for loss and the mistake.
Yeah, they're almost playing like a short yardage defense. They're all coming after the line of scrimmage, and there's nobody left. Brian Kelly hits a crease, and with the speed that Williams has, nobody can catch him. Welcome back to the Notre Dame offense, Dexter Williams.
He's a guy like Tillery on the other side of the ball that has decided that it's worth recommitting to being a college football player and a Notre Dame player.
Really cool story, though. He made some mistakes. He paid for it, went down to the scout team. Instead of pouting about it, went to work.
Earned the respect of teammates.
Earned the respect back, yep.
Now, Wheatley brings it down and is knocked down at the 25-yard line. Could have gone the other direction, but he really rededicated himself. That's why the teammates were celebrating so much when he scored on that first touch last week. To Maria Taylor.
Well, Chris, Brian Kelly coming out of the locker room was talking about the fact that his team was just a little too greedy, and we saw on that play, they're just taking what the defense gives them, and that's exactly what he wanted. And Kirk hit the nail on the head when he said hitting their layups and actually playing through and executing. Now, defensively, he did feel like they were a little bit soft to end that half, so he wants to see better production from his defensive front here in the second half.
High snap. Willis collects it and gets it out on the edge there. Grimsley knocked down its first down yardage by Elliott.
Just in case you're just tuning in, something off of Maria's report. Want to see more production, she mentioned, from the defensive line. Their best defensive end, Julian Okwara, is out of the game for a targeting play earlier on the quarterback, Ryan Willis. So he wants to see more production, and one of his best players not out there. They still have very capable defensive linemen.
Willis on the run, delivers a long throw, and Grimsley slides and makes a catch in Notre Dame territory. First down again.
He's doing a good job of mixing up his targets. Also, Fuente doing a nice job of mixing up the launch points instead of keeping him as a sitting target and moving him around, making it tougher on that pass rush.
Where do you rate Willis's arm strength among college quarterbacks?
This kid has a big arm. We've shown him
top 10. McCrease We've seen every quarterback out there.
Yeah, I don't know about top 10, but he has a big arm. I mean, I've only seen him play for 2 quarters and a couple snaps here. I've been impressed with. He doesn't have a lot of experience other than when he played at Kansas, and here he's coming up against Notre Dame's defense. It's been pretty good against almost everybody they've played, and he's keeping his poise through a lot of adversity tonight.
Gets it out. Grimsley again on the edge. Spins free briefly. Going to be knocked down by Pride.
But we've seen 2 or 3 times from the far hash mark, he's throwing the ball all the way to the opposite boundary. And it is a long throw on a 10 to 15-yard outcut.
Dad was using the example of Jared Goff, and it was a strong arm quarterback at Cal. 1-11 his first year. I mean, just beaten up, bruised, and it worked out pretty well for him in college, and he's getting paid to play. 3rd and 3 from the pocket. It's a slant, and it's a completion. Another first down inside the 30. That's Trey Turner, the freshman, who's slow to get up.
How about see if he's okay, but the accuracy there, how important accuracy is. If this ball's a little high, a little low, a little in front, he has to catch it and get down as quickly as he can before Elliott hits him. And then accurate throw allows him to make that catch. Hopefully he's going to be all right.
We'll be 10 to him, and we'll step aside.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo on ABC, is brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites, and Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
So that statue to Frank Beamer unveiled tonight, and the newly renamed Beamer Lawson Indoor Practice Facility just across the way from Lane Stadium. It's a beautiful thing. And Frank, on December the 4th, will be in New York City, inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, class of 18, the first year of eligibility. It was a no-brainer, to say the least. So Tech back to work, and Peoples is spun down. Good penetration there. That was Ademiola.
Something about every time you come back to Lane Stadium, you just think about Beamer ball and Frank Beamer and the way he did it, and the way he built this program back up, and loves his place. He played here. He's a coach, head coach. I mean, you think of Virginia Tech, you think of Frank Beamer.
And on the end around, they hand it to Wheatley, who's going to be smothered. The Irish flew upfield there. It was Kareem, who's had a big night.
Kareem ends up cleaning it up, but Drew Tranquil actually sets the edge with his speed. Did a really good job of beating the block of Stephen Peoples. Watch 23 work to get to the outside right there. He gets outside of that block of Peoples, forces him back inside, and Kareem cleans it up.
After the loss, it's 3rd and 11. Willis rolls, looks on the sidelines, but skips the ball. Incomplete. So 4th down, and a field goal attempt coming up. Brian Johnson, who's been very solid, not missed one yet this season. Kicked 3 so far tonight. His career long, he's 45. He's booting him for 54 in pregame. This from 48. And it's just outside that upright. The entire football has to be inside the inside edge of the upright extended to be good. And Johnson's attempt just missed. So the Notre Dame lead is still 8. Dave likes. After the missed field goal, Notre Dame takes over up 8. Our Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. And a very serious hurdle this undefeated Irish team is trying to clear to stay on course to the college football playoff. Williams, who had that big explosion, the second longest touchdown run in Notre Dame history, just a yard short of Josh Adams' run a few years ago.
Go back to that Miami game, Chris. Just thinking about 11 months ago when we went down to Miami and watched this Notre Dame team. They're up in the top 5, and the season imploded on them after that game. And you and I talked with Brian Kelly this week. He talked about the energy they put into trying to be able to handle these conditions.
It's a long throw. Ooh, making the catch as Boykin knocked in. There's some very interesting methods he used.
Yeah, I was shocked with the different things he talked about. You know, he talked about being in the weight room and helicopters going off, just different noises to just try to create just an unusual atmosphere, and using soccer balls and not telling them about it to just say, figure it out. You know, he wanted them to have to think on their own and survive on their own in tough conditions.
Well, on a 3rd and 1, Williams busts through, and just a saving tackle by Floyd to prevent another big game. It was helicopter in the speakers, not actual helicopter in the weight room. Just to clarify, that would have been a little too crazy.
Yeah, that would have gone next level. But it's been all about addressing, we didn't play well on the road last year in these tough atmospheres, and this is really their first test since then. He was very confident coming in that they addressed it.
Look, pump fake, shot downfield and overthrown again. He's done it a few times. That was Boykin. And there is the meltdown in Miami. A bottle was thrown at the bus. It busted a wind out, and that seemed to intimidate or spook the Irish team. And then the turnover chain came out in force.
It was rolling downhill in a hurry, and Miami is one of those nights, 41-8. And Brian Kelly said, "I'll take that on me. I didn't get the guys ready to play, and we're going to learn from that."
Play action, and they pitch it far side. And said big tight end Elise Mack.
I will say this: they got the lead right now. This is a different Virginia Tech team compared to Miami, but they've been much more aggressive tonight, much more confident, much more in command than where they were a year ago. And I think a lot of it has to do with Ian Book, and a lot of it just has to do with this an older team, a more confident team.
But until Williams busted loose on that 97-yard sprint, they were on the ropes a little bit.
Yeah,
excellent recovery. 3rd and 6. Tony Jones is the back. Book gets a 3-man rush, just delivers. That's another one of those layups you talk about. Easy pitch and catch to Fink.
Man, Fink he looks like a guy that played a lot of backyard football. Watch him just sit in the soft spot in the zone, just settles right between two defenders, knows exactly where the first down marker is on 3rd down, and he and Book have a great connection.
Now the Hokies swarm into the backfield, and tackle for loss by Ashby against Jones.
Ashby's really become the leader of this defense. They lost so many great leaders to the NFL. He's right in the middle. Nobody picks him up. Eichenberg, no chance.
Inside of 6 minutes in the third, plenty of time, but it feels important for Tech to keep the Irish out of the end zone here. Limit the damage. Book has time from the pocket, a long crossfield throw to Fink again, and Caleb Farley, who's toughing it out with an ankle ailment that Maria talked about, comes up to make the tackle. So 3rd and long again, Kirk.
And Tech gets him to 3rd down. Let's see where Ian Book finds the matchup. On the last 3rd down, it was Fink just kind of settling in there between the soft spot in that zone. See if Bud Foster plays man or goes zone again.
2-by-2 look. They rush 4. Book flushed, tries to correct, and flips it wide open. Boykin running down the sidelines will score. The improvisational skills of Ian Book produces a big touchdown.
Well, there's the threat of the quarterback run and what it can do. You'll see these guys in coverage, see them break away. They start to chase Ian Book. It's a busted coverage, and Boykin has enough speed to get it into the end zone. But the threat again on 3rd down of Ian Book, showing that he's going to take off, improvising, keeping a play alive. Defenders let go of Boykin, and he finds him, kind of baits them until he makes the throw.
And the speedy Farley on the bad ankle could not recover and chase down Boykin. Yet both Hokie defenders bit and played the quarterback. And forgot about the senior receiver who makes his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. And Notre Dame, a couple of 3rd quarter touchdowns, builds the lead to 15.
With your studio update, number 13 Kentucky and Texas A&M in OT after the Wildcats missed a field goal. Travion Williams with a hurdle and flip into the end zone, which gives the Aggies the win and hands UK their first loss of the season, the 3rd unbeaten to go down today, Chris.
And thanks, Cassidy. Oklahoma, LSU, and now Kentucky losing, so down to 11 unbeaten teams in the FBS. Notre Dame, one of those. Georgia also romping tonight. So big plays by an Irish offense that was stagnant in the second quarter and built a 15-point lead. Here's Wheatley. He slips a couple tackles, earns some yards to the 28. Kirkus touchdown again.
Yeah, let's go back to the design of the play. Mack is right here, the tight end. He's going to work across the middle of the field, which is actually going to occupy the safety. We'll run it, and I want to show you what happens, because I think the safety ends up biting on that. So the safety takes himself out here, and then you're going to have two defenders respond to Book, and that's where Boykin ends up freeing up and being able to break free. Great recognition there by Ian Book again.
McLeese. Ooh, here the pads pop. He didn't go down immediately, but Drew Tranquil, graduate student with 241 career tackles coming in, made the stop.
He is great leader for this defense. Has been around and seen a lot of good, a lot of bad, and that makes him a valuable commodity, along with Tavon Coney in the middle of that defense.
Tranquil, an old vet. He got married this summer after the proposal in Iceland. Willis scampers straight ahead. He'll be hit by Coney after a short gain. It's third down again, and now it's really getting urgent for this Tech offense.
Yeah, they got to try to find, more than likely, Hazelton, who's been kind of had the hot hand tonight with 9 receptions. Try to see if they can get him where he's isolated. He's down at the boundaries against Julian Love, their top cover man.
Irish trying to take away Willis's favorite target with their best DB. And they rush 5. Willis is going to look the other side. A downfield play is caught. Eric Kuma used that big physical body to box out Pride, and the Hokies are in Irish territory.
Troy Pride never found the ball. Kuma does. He does a good job. The ball is way in the air, underthrown a bit, where a lot of times you'll see pass interference, but instead he does a good job of working back to the ball. You see Pride look, and Brian Kelly has a pretty good viewpoint of it, but by the time he realized the ball was thrown, Kuma had already adjusted back and made the catch.
And how crucial was that third down conversion for a Tech team now down 15. And the keeper, Willis, able to escape and ducks down for 4.
Notre Dame safeties coming in flying along with Tranquil. That time it was Gilman. Good job by Willis getting down, avoiding that contact.
Yeah, he's a big tough dude. He was sacked 27 times in a season at Kansas, and he's not afraid of contact, but wise decision to duck the head there. Late handoff, and Peoples into heavy traffic. A short gain. It'll set up another third down.
Linebackers very active. Part of this scheme, what they try to do is up front, especially in the interior, try to eat up as many of those double teams, linemen, as they can, and try to free up Coney and Tranquil and Billall to make a lot of tackles, along with Elliott and Gilman. Those safeties flying down too.
Figure Fuentes thinking 2 plays here, so you get the 5 yards.
Yeah, you would think so. This is getting close to the fourth quarter.
5-man rush, and they flip it out. The ball, I think, was tipped on the way out. And it's 4th down. Let's see what the decision is.
I think Tillery, maybe first time we really called his name, making a play. 99. It's a good job. Looks like he got his hand on that.
So they don't go for it on 4th and 5. And here comes Bradburn trying to pin the Irish deep. Not just about the sacks. They haven't had a bunch of sacks, but they have affected the quarterback pretty consistently tonight in a variety of ways. Bradburn doesn't get the right kind of spin and rolls into the end zone for a touchback. The All-State bus here in Blacksburg. Curtis piloting into the Blue Ridge Mountains, helping us keep track of all the mayhem. What's your All-State mayhem moment today?
I think the Red River rivalry today in Dallas, amazing effort by the Texas Longhorns, comes down to the last play of the game, or the last kick of the game, and the Longhorns come up with a big upset over number 7 Oklahoma.
Dicker the kicker, the true freshman.
There you go. How about him walking out there?
Icy.
Just like no big deal.
True freshman snapper, holder, and kicker. Red River rivalry.
You know what, though, man? That was a huge win for Tom Herman, who has changed that culture in Austin. They are a dangerous football team with a very tough quarterback.
And Book wide open, just missed him. I mean, running free there was Claypool. And Book would like to have that one back.
Yeah, he had him. Broke free. Looked like a busting coverage by Virginia Tech. Got him behind that coverage.
Another reason why that was a big win for Texas is because they almost collapsed. They were up 21.
Yeah.
And it was looking like overtime before the Longhorns drove down and kicked the winner. On the edge there. Komet is knocked down after really no gain. Reggie Floyd stopped him 3rd and long. Irish 6 of 11. And 3rd down tonight. You get the band, you get the hokey gobbler sound played out of the speakers to try to make things even tougher. Book blitzed and sacked. Off the edge, Quillen in the corner. It's 4th down.
Yeah, they brought Quillen, and they also brought Dylan Rivers with a slant. See the defensive line slanting back into the field, and that creates a 2-on-1 matchup, and Quillen's able to get there because they decided the back had to pick up Rivers. Good call there by Bud Foster. Took a gamble on 3rd down, and it pays off.
One bad snap tonight so far to Newsom, who has had 3 punts blocked in his career. Hokies peel back and don't go for the block. It's a line drive boot that is away from Carroll. He feels it at the 40. Jukes around. Spins, is knocked down hard, but Tech will take over at midfield. 21 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, which has been dominated by Notre Dame. Get the McGregor fight reaction tonight on SportsCenter, 1:30 a.m. Eastern time after the Utah-Stanford game. Bucci and Stanford looked up at all the ranked teams facing road tests today. The ALDS Game 2 tonight. 6-1 Yankees in Fenway, bottom of the 7th. They try to bounce back, level that series against Boston. Kind of a spooky skies of Lane Stadium. And they hand it off and busting free. McLeese, good run inside the 40.
About that opened up. We keep talking about the linebackers in the middle and what a good job they're doing tonight. That time Virginia Tech got up to them, and Coney actually came on a blitz. Was picked up nicely that time by Hoyt.
McLeese and Peoples getting a little something going on the ground after being smothered by Duke's defense a week ago. But Notre Dame in charge in the 3rd quarter. Up 15, headed to the final 15. Back to Blacksburg after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Set for the final quarter. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Wells Fargo. Irish up by 15. Hokies trying to cut into that and move the ball to the Notre Dame 38-yard line. Both teams, by the way, have been outscored in the 4th quarter so far this season. Willis could be a double pass. Kuma caught it behind the line and took a look downfield, then decides to just run for a couple.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chris. He was taking a peek. He had a blocker in front of him. The tight end, Dalton Keene, he looks like he wanted to throw it.
Remember, Kirk, since that game in Philly we called 3 years ago, best known for the Halloween Fright Night, Notre Dame has not had a win against ranked teams on the road. They're 8-12 in the last 20 true road games. So this is really trying to break a trend. It's not just that meltdown in Miami we've talked a lot about. It's the failures against quality teams away from home.
Yeah, but I think that's also what Brian Kelly's trying to get this program to grow. I think it's to become a complete program. It takes being able to learn how to win away from the friendly confines. South Bend is a great home field advantage, but you got to be able to take that passion and that energy when you go on the road and play better teams.
Saw the win over OU in 12. They're trying to start 6-0 for the first time since that team that played Alabama in the national title game. And it's out of bounds. Love, who had the scoop and score, caught it but could not come down in the field of play.
The ball is thrown out of bounds, but a lot of that has to do with Julian Love pushing The receiver actually into that boundary, didn't give him a chance, took that cushion away and forced him out of bounds. He is a physical, quick, very dominant cover corner.
They're going to bring Brian Johnson out for a very long field goal attempt.
Notre Dame's confused. They had about 15 guys on the field.
Well, I think they didn't expect a long field goal attempt. Johnson had plenty of distance from 48 the last time, but just missed it. So take a break here. So Brian Johnson, longest attempt of his career at 53. Irish had 21 guys on the field before the timeout. We'll check with Kataya, but I think it's almost always caught by the officials when you do that. So
certainly hope so.
I think maybe they were caught off guard. This to cut it to 12, and it's a really long kick. But he's got a really good leg. I mean, he just hammers that, but misses it wide. I mean, the range is awesome for this guy, but he's missed the last two long ones, so the lead is still 15. Confirmation from the officials' hat cam. He's missed two, just by narrow margin.
Came out of it a little bit there. He hit it good, just came out of it a little bit.
That's your analysis of that field goal attempt?
Thanks to Mike Black.
I mean, they had a 4th and 8. He goes by that book, the analytics book Justin Fuente does. I guess the book said if you got a kicker who can make it, try to cut the lead. But now the Irish go back to work after that exceptional third quarter. This is a run all the way. Book just rolls right for 3 yards.
Ian Book tonight, 21 of 31, 228 yards, a touchdown, the 1 interception. Got off to a quick start. And the second half, because of the nice run by Dexter Williams, Notre Dame's offense has kind of settled back in.
And 2nd and 7, Book looks to the left. Boykin makes the catch, and you move into Tech territory. One of the loudest leaders on this Tech defense, Maria, has really had a rough week emotionally. Alshon Gaines.
Yeah, you're right. Gaines lost his mother on Monday, and he actually told his team that he wanted to come back and play with them. Coaches left the decision completely up to him, so he returned to practice on Wednesdays, and he's basically been the leader down here still on the sidelines, guys. I mean, he's the one amping up the entire defense, talking to them. He has his mother's initials underneath his eye black. It's Tardra Hilliard, and you can see this outstanding showing of support from Notre Dame. A candle was lit in his mother's honor at the Grotto, so you can see that both of these sidelines honoring the passing, the life of Tardra Hilliard today.
Absolutely wonderful that a Notre Dame fan did that, and you can see he thanked them very much via tweet. 2nd and 10, and pinballing through heavy traffic is Williams. Williams at 97-yard touchdown run. Has been held in check on his other 12 rushes, though, pretty much. And the Irish will try to just work on this clock.
Yeah, no urgency at this point. Trying to work the clock and also still keep their aggressive approach.
Brooks got it, flips it in the flat, and it's the tight end Mack, and it's another first down.
You know, those last two throws that he's had, that's been what we have seen from this offense. A lot of quick throws, a lot of I've been calling them kind of layups these last 3 weeks, but they've been missing layups for the last couple years, and now they're starting to hit those, and it opens up everything else that they want to do in their running game, and opens up Chip Long and how he wants to call the game as an offensive coordinator.
Kmet and Mack, between them, the tight ends have 9 catches tonight. Williams tries to bounce this, and he goes around a couple defenders and then lowers his shoulder and bangs for about 4. Ladler forced him out. Now these two quarterbacks with interesting stories. Book taking over for Wimbush. He's 23 of 33. A lot of short completions. Did have the one big downfield play, the one pick. Willis had a fumble, but has been sharp. That's a Pacific Life game summary.
With Book, it's a lot of the short stuff, and then they'll take a kind of a double move and take a shot downfield. But that short stuff is accurate and quick.
Avery Davis, the sophomore from Texas, into the game. His first carry tonight. And a physical run before Floyd stopped him. It'll be third down again. They'll need about 3.
Probably the best thing that you could say about him in at quarterback has been how decisive he has been. And when you have a decisive quarterback, it kind of creates urgency within the entire offense.
Book lofts it downfield for Boykin, who makes a catch. First and goal. He beat Quillen. A big 6'4" body out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, why overthink it? He's 6'4". You're going to kind of throw that fade up high, back shoulder, let Boykin adjust back to the ball. And most college corners struggle to find that underthrown ball and locate the football to make a play on it, while Boykin eyes it the whole way.
And first and goal, Book rolling, had a man open, didn't see him. Ladler eventually makes the tackle.
And Dexter Williams was just kind of floating.
Wide open.
Yeah, just after the fake, he just was kind of following his fake, looking around like, nobody's on me if you want to throw it to me.
He wasn't considered in the pattern, so Book wasn't looking for number 2, but it's surprising he didn't see him.
I think that looked like, really honestly, like a quarterback keep the whole way.
Williams cuts it back and tackled inside the 5-yard line by Ashby. Third and goal coming up.
Williams had maybe the play of the night when Virginia Tech was getting back into the game and had the crowd back into the game. Notre Dame pinned back inside their own 5. He went 97 yards. Changed the complexion of the game completely.
They fake it to him. Slant, touchdown, pitch and catch. Boykin continues a monster night. 2 touchdowns, 8 catches.
Well, the play fake gets the linebackers to suck in, and then he's able to make that throw, as you say. That's easy. That's about as easy as it can be for a quarterback throwing to one of his favorite targets, and big target at that with a huge catch radius. He got to the inside of Kean, and Kean didn't have a chance to make a play.
And that Williams run you just talked about, really the deflator for this Tech defense. They were in it down 1 at the break, and Notre Dame now 3 touchdowns. That's a 11-play, 64-yard drive, 21-zip Irish after the break.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Wells Fargo. Established 1852, re-established 2018. And in part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific.
Well, the College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper here tonight. It will be won in the Bay Area January 7th. Will the Irish be competing in that 4-team bracket for the first time? A win tonight in the ESPN Playoff Predictor. As you well know, Kirk, it's an algorithm there. It has given the Irish a 60% chance to make the playoff, provided they secure this lead and win tonight to get to 6-0.
Is that the best? Second best?
No, not the best.
Alabama's got to be the best.
106% chance at making the playoff. I think they have to lose 2 not to make it. Let's be honest. Right? Wheatley from the end zone trying to spark this Hokie team with a big special teams play. Had a crease, hard running.
I was only going by who Alabama still has to play compared to Notre Dame still has to play.
Top 10 teams to lose today. Oklahoma in that wild, frenetic, highest scoring Red River shootout ever.
These 2 top wins are bigger than just wins today. They're great wins today, but what these 2 coaches are doing at those 2 programs, it's starting to really look good in Austin and also Gainesville.
And the folks who had Auburn ranked in the top 10 don't look real smart. The Tigers lose for a second time. Mississippi State a big win. Willis deflected again at the line. They knock him down. It's not about the sacks. They've affected him a lot. And Justin Yoon, congratulations. He's all smiles because he has just set the Notre Dame career scoring record with that PAT. He jumped past Alan Pinkett, the former Irish running back, who set that record in '85, so it stood for 33 years until tonight. Willis chased again, flips it into the flat. McLeese makes the catch, but it was slow to develop, and he'll lose yardage, 3rd and long.
And Notre Dame coming after him at this point in the game, and Jameer Jones, a junior, they're rotating a lot of different bodies up front. Mitchin Okwara out of the game. Okay, the guy who's played most consistent up there has been Khalid Kareem. He's been all over the field.
Willis harassed again, gets a ball out, and coming back is Savoy to make the catch. It was not a pretty pass, but it was effective. Kind of fluttered out there.
It sure did. He didn't really step into the throw because of the pressure. He almost fell back as he threw it. Just barely gets enough on it. And good job of concentrating there by Sean Savoy. Obviously to come up with a catch and get enough yards for the first down.
Oh, that was a fastball that Savoy couldn't handle. Just over Coney's hands, too.
How did Coney miss that one? Instinctive player. He's worked so hard on his coverage skills. Maybe not ready for this fastball. It looked like it went right through his hands. Solid middle linebacker, along with Tranquil.
Hazelton just kind of runs into Tranquil, who had come back to defend the perimeter.
You mentioned Notre Dame's schedule, you know, what they have left if they're able to hold on and win this game tonight, which looks pretty good. Where they go and who they still have to play. And we talked all week about the possibility of this being just a different year, a different feel with Notre Dame. And they haven't hurt themselves in any way tonight, obviously.
Hazelton comes back to make the catch, and the Hokies convert on 3rd down again. Only have 2 more home games. They have Pittsburgh next week. Then they have a much-needed bye week. Navy will be played in San Diego at Northwestern. Wildcats are dangerous.
We got a great quarterback there. And Florida State looks like they're starting to show some life, athletically anyway. But that is in South Bend, which would be tough on Florida State.
They play Syracuse in the cold in Yankee Stadium in November, and then go to L.A.
I think the 2 toughest games they have left are their last 2. Syracuse can score points. They're not an easy team to defend. USC, always going to be athletic. Their young freshman quarterback will be getting better by the end of the year. Plus, there'll be so much pressure if they're still unbeaten, sitting there at 11-0.
Absolutely. Can you imagine SC, which has not had the kind of year they hope to, a chance to spoil Notre Dame's playoff hopes?
Comes to the LA Coliseum, and they're 60 minutes away from securing a bid in the playoff, and they got to get through the Trojans, who have nothing to lose and are trying to salvage their season maybe by trying to beat a team like Notre Dame, who's unbeaten.
A long way to go, but do you think Notre Dame has to be sitting there unbeaten without, of course, the conference championship game, that data point the committee talks about?
Because, I mean, if you look at the top 6 teams, it's hard to imagine teams coming from outside of the top 6.
Incomplete on the slant there.
As we sit here right now.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame's, Brian Kelly, because of the big wins early in the year, they positioned himself to have a legitimate shot to run the table. And if they run the table and they're sitting there at 12-0, they're going to be in the playoff.
And the resume would include, of course, that opening win over Michigan, winning home against Stanford, and now this top 25 road win. 4th and 3. Hokies need this to keep any sliver of hope alive. Down by 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, and they will spend a timeout right here. Back to Blacksburg after this. Up in the clouds tonight. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Keep pushing day in and day out on the field and on tires you can trust to help you go the distance. Goodyear, more driven. And tomorrow morning over on ESPN, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday NFL Countdown. All the updates, last minute fantasy stuff, right down to kickoff.
You took the Broncos game in past Monday, didn't you?
Great Monday Night Football game.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes.
How much fun is he?
Has some magic, man. He is. I would watch the Chiefs anytime they're on the field with that guy playing quarterback.
Man, they are fun to watch. Them and the Rams.
Yeah, I was disappointed by the outcome and the blown call and the play clock expired.
Part of the game, right?
Yeah. Sure, Coach. 4th and 3. Hokies need this, and they flip it short to Peoples, who gets a first down and runs hard down inside the 20. So 3 touchdowns short. Going to need a 2-point conversion somewhere in there.
Yep, playing man coverage, and nobody picks Peoples up out of the backfield. Looked like maybe Drew Tranquil got caught up there with his eyes in the backfield. Peoples gets out into the flat. Nobody picks him up, and Virginia Tech still fighting.
They are, but every second counts here. They got to be quick and efficient, try to get this in the end zone without wasting any more time. And that one is almost picked off in the end zone. Jalen Elliott got a hand on it. Gilman was also there.
Elliott playing with so much more confidence this year. Last year, just a little bit timid, still kind of feeling his way, transitioning from receiver to safety. And, man, that would have been a heck of a play. Gilman came over. The ref cam here gives you a good look at not only does Elliott have a chance, Gilman also almost comes up with that interception.
Boy, Elliott, nice performance tonight in front of those 26 friends and families from about 3 hours away in Richmond. And the delayed handoff here, Peoples knocked down for a short gain. You come back and you play in your home state after leaving to go to Notre Dame, and the first time in your life, and everybody you know is here, and he has shown up. Talked about both his parents being Hokie graduates. His dad played here. High school quarterback, good athlete. 3rd and 8. Willis, another looping throw for the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown. Eric Kuma, and you're right, Kirk, the Hokies still are fighting here.
What a throw here. Dante Vaughn, who has good size, is matched up against Kuma. So it's a great matchup, but the ball is thrown actually further along back into that corner than I thought it might be. You can see that Vaughn does a good job of trying to get his hands up, fully extended, but ball just gets over the top of it, and Kuma's able to focus in and come up with that big play.
Well, there's a little look here, shifting everybody around. They're going to choose to go for 2 here. Interesting. Still down by 16. Figure to see an onside kick, and they're going to have to spend a timeout for the 2-point conversion. He didn't want to do that, so they'll take the delay of game and now kick the PAT. Outfoxed himself. Don't need to go for 2 here, of course.
No.
But
the worst part is you end up using the timeout because of the confusion.
That's why they just took the penalty. So here's Johnson to cut it to 15. Figured to see an onside kick coming up. Tech still hanging around. Life for now.
Cassidy Hubbard for your studio update. Number 14, Stanford hosting Utah. KJ Costello picked off by Jalen Johnson in the end zone, and he goes back the other way, all the way, 100 yards for the score. The Utes up 14-0 this game on ESPN. Chris Hervey, back to you.
All right, thanks. And 2 kickers in the game for Tech. Stout's the regular kickoff guy. Johnson is the field goal man. Interesting formation here as they spread the Irish all over the place. It's Johnson who tries for the short hop, at Claypool. It's a fine special teams player on that hands team. Goes down and fields it.
Go back to this last drive. Ian Book was 4 of 4 for 43 yards, and it was going back to what we saw really from Notre Dame's offense. Quick decisions, making good decisions to try to find the right matchups, where Boykin makes a nice play, and then the touchdown pass where the play action draws the linebackers in, and then a very easy throw to the rangy Miles Boykin for the touchdown.
So 5:38 as the Irish try to chew on the clock with this 15-point lead. Shift the 2 tight ends to the left. Williams is the back. He's got it. And he cuts back. And Dexter Williams, the electric 97-yard run, really changed this game around in the 3rd quarter. Almost got loose again. 15 schools, all on one network. A new place to call home, the ACC Network, coming next August.
Now, Dexter Williams came back last week. Had 161 yards, 7.5 yards a carry. Tonight, because of that big run, 147 yards and 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, that big touchdown certainly skewed the average, but
yeah, he's been good, man. He's a great complement to what they're doing with Book in the passing game.
Absolutely. Williams breaks free again. Second touchdown tonight as he high steps in.
See, the thing is he's physical. It's not just about being quick in space. He can run through some tackles, and he's fresh. He'll do a good job with him. Just doesn't give up. He's a guy that's running with desperation. He has earned his way back to the good graces of these coaches and his teammates, and that's why so many of these guys are so excited for him after what he's been through, being suspended and working his way back.
That's a great point. You used 2 words. He's fresh, because he hadn't played the first 4 games, and he is really hungry to make the most of every carry that he's got left this season. 31-yard touchdown run. He's up to 178, and the all-time scorer in Notre Dame history. Now Yoon adds another point and extends the record. And the guy on the right there, the Montana jersey, he's going to have to console his buddy on the left there.
Yeah,
Tech fan, little glum.
Left was feeling pretty good, there for a while.
Notre Dame has scored 4 touchdowns after halftime. This is a strong statement. This isn't just a surviving on the road in a tough environment against a ranked team. This is a statement. You have to look at this into the year when you evaluate Notre Dame. This is a strong performance after halftime tonight.
Yeah, they took Virginia Tech's best shot. They went to Lane Stadium. It can be a tough atmosphere.
They cleaned up a lot of mistakes they made in the first half.
Sure did.
And now they're going to have Justin Yoon, not the regular kickoff guy, booted off, and he's so pumped up being the record holder that he drives it deep in the end zone. Redskins Saints, looking forward to this one on the Superdome Monday on ESPN. Drew Brees 200 yards away from Peyton Manning, and that's going to be electric in there. I imagine the emotion and the show of support if he gets those 200 yards and passes Peyton all-time passing, and in the Superdome, the franchise he's meant so much.
Incredible how he just keeps going. We always marvel at Tom Brady and his incredible career, and sometimes people forget about Drew Brees and what he's done, and it's great he's going to have center stage and get the notoriety he deserves.
One more time, Willis hooks up to Hazleton, and this is not going to work out the way that Ryan Willis had dreamed about it. He's played pretty well. That was his 50th pass attempt, and he's got another 300-yard game tonight.
I don't know. We talked about the playoff earlier. Notre Dame, they're going to be in. They're going to run the table. They're not. I'm just telling you, based on watching them this year and seeing them tonight, it's a different feel of a Notre Dame team. Much more athletic. Just a much more complete team than we've seen in recent years, where Notre Dame's been ranked up pretty high and then they end up losing to somebody, and a lot of times people say, well, they weren't that good anyway. Or this is a different team. They're better at the defensive line. They got leadership at linebacker. They're going to get better and better in the secondary. We know what they can do now with Ian Book at quarterback. Dexter Williams comes in, gives them a back. And this team's going to be for real. It's going to be a challenge.
Willis picked off. And what a monster game by Julian Love. He had the scoop and score in the first half, and the pick as he stepped in front of the receiver.
Yeah, again, he stares this one down, makes it easy for Julian Love, who's, again, we've talked all night about what we think about him as a cover corner. Great job of recognizing and just timing that perfectly to step in front of that. He's come close tonight. That one he timed up perfect, comes up with a big pick.
And it's the 17th time that Willis has targeted Hazleton tonight. So finally, Love's enough's enough. Enough's enough. We're gonna flush out that
Do you
connection.
see what I'm talking about with the
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I think the defense, they're good at all levels of the defense.
And Book gives them something different. Here comes Brandon Wimbush into the game.
The senior, who was 13-3 as a starter before being replaced 3 games ago. Sebo Flemister, one of the young backs. You mentioned the impact of Williams. They're going to get Jafar Armstrong back healthy after the bye. Tony Jones heals up.
Yeah,
Wimbush gives him a dimension too. They can use him as a playmaker in different roles.
A lot of respect for Wimbush in this era of quarterbacks and getting upset and leaving. You know, obviously he's not happy to be a backup at this point, but he's been nothing but classy about that demotion and has a really just sharp approach to the game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Very level-headed young man.
Indeed, and you need more than one quarterback these days in college football.
And it's hard sometimes to do that. A lot of guys decide to leave, but Brandon Wimbush should everything we've heard from the coaches, they said he's been nothing but first class, and he's not being a distraction or not pouting or anything like that, which is great to hear.
Still Flemister in the backfield. You use all the seconds on the play clock. And Wimbush on a keeper ducks back down. I'm going to close the book on book. Ian, 25 of 35, 271, had the one interception, a couple of touchdowns. Solid performance against a disruptive defense in a very, very tough environment. I take issue with the red visor. Everything else about his game, lots of like tonight.
That's strictly
it's just a
backup quarterback, right? you gotta have the visor so they can see you.
Quarterback draw, and Wimbush is spun down.
Oh, he hurt?
Yeah, see, exactly. Well, and he's gonna put it back on. AP top 10 rankings. Alabama gave up 31, so that'll be a talking point for Nick Saban. Unacceptable. But what you said too, and the offense was going to score 60 a game. You were exaggerating.
We got to get to the bottom of that in Tuscaloosa. That'll be a tough week for them.
I blame it on the students. It was a road game, but I still think the student section was to blame there.
And all kidding aside, Georgia goes to Baton Rouge. That'll be a big game next week for Georgia.
And you know, Clemson has an NC State team coming into Death Valley, but NC State a threat in this conference. Wimbush has still got it and sort of ducks down at the 35-yard line. So let's take a look at the remaining schedules of some of the top contending teams. You get Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson in there.
You got Bama, the big trip to LSU everybody's excited about. With Georgia, as I mentioned, this week LSU, Florida, huge game in Jacksonville, Kentucky on the road. But really it's those next two that you find out where Georgia is. Ohio State at Purdue, maybe a little tricky, and then Michigan at the end of the year. And we're really not even talking about conference championships. You touched on the NC State game for Clemson. Still have to travel to Florida State. It's kind of a rivalry game. So everybody's got hurdles to overcome.
Backup quarterback Herndon Hooker, the redshirt freshman out of Greensboro, in the game. And it's Jalen Holston who's had a couple of touches here late for the Hokies. Final minute and a half, and Cassidy Hubbard will be awaiting in the studio. The Ford wrap-up show to give you the scores and the highlights. The three unbeaten teams that fell today. Colorado carrying the flag for the Pac-12 as the unbeaten team. I'm curious to see if you're going to put the Buffs in your top four. If you're ready to make
not quite ready for that. Not quite.
Getting closer.
I picked them this morning, so I'm happy to see your Buffs. I always think about you when I do make the pick, because I know how you had a chance to actually be out there.
I'm not saying that my talk to them this week had anything to do with the win. Maybe a little bit. Not much. But
you went and visited with the boys, right?
I did. I was out there at a journalism alum seminar along with Jay Rothman, the producer of Monday Night Football, fellow Buff, Jim Gray. There's a few of us flying around out here.
That's great. Beautiful area, right?
Always.
Can't beat it. You ever go fly fishing out there?
Yeah, I choose other outdoor activities.
Oh, yeah.
We can get a rod for you if you want to come out.
You're a hiker.
Well, Notre Dame, all that offseason training we talked about at the beginning of the show, they handled the chaos well, executed well, especially after halftime. This is a very satisfying road win for Brian Kelly.
Huge win. Second half really just dominated, 28-7, pulled away. Had some big plays, especially from Dexter Williams with the big 97-yard run. Got to be satisfied. Remember, we talked about all the work that they put in to be able to handle a hostile environment. Visited with the Navy SEALs, all the work that they put in clearly pays off for them.
Williams, when they were backed up at the 3-yard line, nursing a 1-point lead, he made the biggest play of the game, that 97-yard run. Let's hear from the satisfied Coach Kelly. He's with Maria.
All right, Coach. Well, it was a 1-point game at halftime. What changed in the second half for this offense and able to put all those Jets on?
We were more efficient, obviously. We're a little sloppy at times in the first half, and we just said, listen, stop going outside of what you can do. We were trying to do too many things, and we just got back to doing what we're good at, and I think we settled down a lot better. We ran the ball. We had the big run, obviously, off the goal line, which got us a lot of momentum, and a couple of big turnovers.
Now, you've been training for chaos. You wanted to see how your team would handle the challenge. How would you rate their performance?
I thought they handled the environment quite well. I don't think that was the issue at all in the first half. We got off to a great start. And again, when you make plays, you quiet the crowd down, and I thought we did a great job with that.
This was the first major challenge for Ian Book on the road coming into this environment. What did you see from your quarterback?
He did a nice job. He led our offense. We put 45 points on the board, and we can play better. But it's good to get him on the road, get this first kind of test, if you will, because we're going to have to play 4 on the road in November, and that will be another test for him.
When's the next time you listen to Inner Sandman?
I'm going to put that away for a long time. I love the fact that it's college football and it's great, but I'm done for a month or so. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for your time, Coach. And now we've got his starting quarterback, Ian Book, here with us. And Ian, walk me through what changed in the second half for this offense that allowed you guys to be so productive.
The offense was playing good. I just, I started off slow and I needed to make a change. And, we went into the locker room and, we set it 0-0. We got to start over. And I'm just happy for the guys on the offense and for obviously our defense giving us the ball so much. And I had to focus and do what we were taught all week. And I had to make some changes.
This was your toughest road challenge to date as far as the environment and hostility is concerned. How would you describe this game?
This was a once-in-a-lifetime experience out here tonight. They got a great atmosphere, and Virginia Tech's such a great team. But this is what you play college football for. And I'll remember this night forever. And it was awesome, and I'm just happy we get the win.
All right, thanks for your time, Ian.
Thank you very much.